You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Tonight, Friday edition. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you are all doing and living well. And thank you for being here and welcome to the show. Let me start this evening off by shouting out all those awesome people in the winner circle that make it happen month in and month out. Thank you so much for being part of the solution. Your names are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Let's welcome our newest member, MJ. Hang on a second. All right. And away we go. Tonight on Winning Tonight, we will be celebrating the confirmation confirmed and sworn in new director of the FBI, Kash Patel. And what a great time it is. We just finished his book, Government Gangsters. It's a great book. So we knew a lot about him. If you've been hanging out with us, you knew a lot about what's going on and the ins and outs and the back and the past and all that fun stuff. And also Howard Lutnick has been sworn in as well. So I think that wraps things up. We may have a few stragglers out there, but we're batting 1,000 getting these cabinet members sworn in, confirmed and sworn in, and that's a great thing. We're also going to take a look at the latest White House press conference and also a great press conference by Trump as well. From the day he went over a lot of stuff, those stuff, and Ukraine stuff and whatnot. So we're going to dig into those later in the show. We'll start the night out, of course, by looking at top news and updates. And okay. And we will do that as well. I think I got to figure out a new background or something. Something that doesn't make the colors change so much. Like I noticed it on my end. So it's like, and then that kind of distracts me. I'm like, why do I keep changing colors? All right, whatever. It is what it is, man. We're in outer space here. I wish I could just like get rid of that thing and just have the stars. That's what I really want. So maybe I'll work on that. We'll see. I got plenty of time to fiddle with it as we go along here tonight. This is the one that changes constantly. This is going to be the new start of the show where I just mess with the background forever. All right, we'll leave it at that. Okay, there we go. Let's say hello to this awesome crowd that's out there. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got MJ, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Heidi, thanks for holding down the Rumble side for us over there. I know over there on Rumble for us. Appreciate that so much. Thomas is there. He doesn't know what's going on here. When did I schedule this? So like about an hour ago. And yeah. But I'm sorry you didn't get that. Make sure you ring the bell. And away we go. Well, I'm glad you got it from Discord. So yeah, just keep it up. We got a lot of different methods out there to find the show. And whatever one works best for you, you're here. That's what counts. And we are off and rolling. Wolfram, my friend, how you doing? Thanks for posting these links. And remember, everybody, when you're here, to always listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about. All right. He wipes his paws, he lopes in, and he howls. And that's how you know the alpha mod is in the house. Yes, indeed. All right, there is Shelly. Shelly talking trash and Tucson hosts with the most is out there giving big hugs on all the platforms we're on. And in case I didn't mention it, we are broadcasting live tonight on Rumble, YouTube, and X. And a big thanks to Shelly and Wolfram for supporting us over on Rumble. I think I missed that part. But anyways, I now have made up for it. All right, RB, what's up? Hey, RB, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Ozawi13 over on the Rumble side. What's up, Ozawi? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here, guy. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. All right. And boy, look at all these great guys. Oh, there's Daisy Girl dancing in sideways, saying hello to everybody. Hey, Daisy Girl Williams, how you doing? Hope you're doing awesome. Slidey Pie, thanks for stopping by, Slidey Pie. Thanks for stopping by, Slidey Pie. All right. Before stopping in, before making dinner, well, good to see you. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing great out there. Hey, man, everybody on the Rumble side, remember, man, if we are counting on you, we are counting on you to make sure that other people know about the stream. And what you got to do there is you just got to hit the thumbs up, because over on Rumble side, that's what makes people see the stream more. So we crack more people on the Rumble side. Rumble is growing. It's growing all the time. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody on the Rumble side, that is helping the channel grow and helping other people find the channel. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Where am I at here on the list here? We got Slotty Pop. We got everybody here. You guys are, if I shouted your name out right now, you guys are the VIPs in the front row for this show. All right. And off and rolling we are. Let it rip, guys. Let it rip in the chat. Remember, man, you are, when you're here, you are part of the solution. So make sure your voices are heard. And if you're not, then I guess you're not. But if you're here, if you're actually here in the chat, you are part of the solution. So thank you for being here. And in case you haven't noticed yet, I'm sporting a new hat tonight. These things take a little while to get here. They're not the greatest quality hats, but there's something. There's something for the show. It goes with the theme, whatever. But yeah, I got a new hat. Tribute to the great idea known as winning reality, and there is the avatar himself. So we can always just look at him. There he is. Just moving side to side. All right. Hey, Snipe, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. You want to be part of the problem? Oh, no. No, be part of the solution. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Like I said, we're gonna do the top news and updates really fast tonight. I do have a good some other stuff that's kind of like on the side that I wanted to go over, but I don't know that time permitting to get to the other stuff we usually do on the Friday nights. Kind of doing it backwards this week. I think we usually do more of the press conferences and stuff during the week, but they kind of collected and we had other things going on. And we had some really great streams this week, by the way. So I thank everybody for being here. Great discussion going on, great topics and all that. But we're gonna be doing a couple back-to-backs tonight, and they're gonna be really good. So real exciting stuff. But I'm gonna give you some highlights to start out with. And I gotta find that ding on. And is this it? Nope. That's it. All right, cool. Oof, bright light. Nobody likes the bright lights. All right, but we're going to hit some few topics here. But one of the big things that came out today that I probably will have to save for Saturday night. It's so good. I think I want to save it for Saturday night. It's really good news if I was in that category, but it's more than good news. It's by Greg Foreman from Black Conservative Perspective, and he put together a phenomenal video. It's sort of, it's a normal report, but it really hits home. It's a prime example of role model leadership, like I've been talking about, and he accentuates it. So I'm gonna feature that on Good News Winning Saturday Night, and that is the court documents exposed the George Floyd narrative as a big lie. We know that we're the base crowd. We knew it was a big lie, but I mean, they went through an entire sham of a court thing, and they put people in jail that didn't deserve to be there. But man, he put together a smashing report on that. So I'm going to save that just to let you know. There's also some new O'Keefe Media Group footage out there that I wanted to go over. Probably won't have time for it tonight, but we'll either cover it on Saturday or next Tuesday, where LA mayor official admits office knew where the wildfires were coming, but they didn't do damn thing to stop it, because you know why? They don't give a shit about their people. They don't. And that's the way the Marxist mindset works. They don't. It's all about them. They've been turned into functional, useful idiot narcissists, and they don't see human life as valuable. They just see it as a means to an end. And luckily, we are far away from this kind of people here. So that's the great thing about being a part of the winning reality scene, is that those people, they may be watching, they may be tucked away somewhere, but they're not part of this scene. And that's the great thing. You know, we don't play those stupid high school games. And anyways, we have a great crowd here, and this keeps growing and growing with awesome people hanging out all the time, like new people like Snipe and RB, and of course our legacy people that have been here for a long time, like Thomas and Heidi and Wolfram and Shelly and all these people that have been hanging with us for a while. And oh, did I forget to mention Ozawi? Ozawi is one of the new ones too, hanging out. Awesome person. Thank you guys, man. And we're having a great time. MJ's new too. MJ, let me now I gotta tell it. I gotta say everybody. Slidey Pie. She's been around for a little bit now, but she's still fairly new. You get to go in the in between, been here for a long time and fairly new crowd. How about that, Slidey? You get your own category. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna come out swinging tonight. We're gonna come out swinging tonight with the lady herself. We're gonna do some quick hits here, and then we're gonna get onto the presses. The presses. There we go. Pulling it up, getting it ready for you. All right, yeah, Gavin does need to go, and hopefully you guys, we're gonna need strong candidates that are ready to go out there. And we can fix the voting system that keep people like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom in power out in California. We can actually change things around in a great way out there. There's a lot of good people in California that are suffering because of their corrupt leadership and the unfortunate longevity of their reigns. All right. Okay, so Pam Bondi in the house. Pam Bondi has come out today and says she is very alarmed by the state of the Department of Justice. It's worse than she thought. Well, wow. Okay. Well, you know what? You know what you got to do, Pam. So
let's bring in the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Can I still call you Pam, or do I have to call you General Bondi?
You better call me Pam. We've known each other for way too long.
We certainly have.
Let me get this up here. Hey, Wolfram, you know what? That's the great thing about members of the Winner Circle. They get a free super chat every month, and I hope you guys all use them. Member for 14 months. I'm just a young pup here. Am I able to give out free ones yet? I don't know. Some people are allowed to do that, and I'm not. I don't know why. It's because I'm on a branded account, and yeah, I still can't do that. We should look. I'm gonna put a goal out there. The live chat's up. I'm gonna put a goal out there. I don't have any kind of like celebration, but I'm gonna put them out there. Why not? Go keep on. Okay. Just whatever. If we get it, we get it. It's nice to have it. And if we do get it, then you get confetti. Then it helps out a lot. Trust me. All right. Thank you for supporting the channel for 14 months in your membership. Well, Wolfram, man, thank you so much, man. You're awesome. I'm so happy that you're here and you decided you wanted to be my alpha mod. I really do appreciate you, man. And anybody who doesn't appreciate Wolfram, well, they're POS in my opinion. That's my opinion. Wolfram is awesome, dude. And we all know that here. And we all appreciate you, Wolfram. You got a home right here, buddy. You got a home right here. All right. Let's get into this right here, right now. Let's go.
So yesterday, when you were doing CPAC, along with Senator Ted Cruz, you said that what you found at the Department of Justice was worse than you thought that it could possibly be. Let me ask you, what was worse? What surprised you? And the bigger question, can you fix it?
Well, we're going to fix it. That's the directive from Donald Trump. We will fix it. I always thought that the worst part was within the FBI, John, but it's throughout the Justice Department. It's throughout the administration. I mean, look even at what Elon Musk has been uncovering with all the different departments, USAID, Treasury, everything. I've been working with all my counterparts. I mean, the fraud, the waste, the abuse. Lee Zeldin at EPA and I have been talking constantly, and we're going to have some very big news on that soon, what we're going to do to help EPA. But even within the departments, yesterday, we got rid of the Jack Smith team. That was a given, the ultimate weaponization of the government. But we also, yesterday, I fired the general counsel from ATF. These people were targeting gun owners. Not going to happen under this administration. And so we're looking to hire really great people. Sitting on my desk right now are all the list of the names of the U.S. attorneys who we're going to bring in. So are we going to fix it? Absolutely. Is it going to take a while? Not as long as people think.
Great to have you here today. I'll stick with Madam Attorney General. It's great to have you back on the program. If I may just ask you, what have you been able to see since you've taken the reins there that has perhaps altered or prioritized some of your initial goals out of the gate here?
Well, you know what really altered? Of course, we want to take it back to its prime major function, the Department of Justice, fighting violent crime. So I knew that. I've done that my whole career. So going in, I really thought that would be our top priority. But now it's also the fraud, waste, and abuse. And for the fighting crime, we're going after these cartels. We all work so well together. All of us, all of these cabinet members, we're such a great team. And today's a great day for me because I get to swear in Kash Patel today. So I can't wait to have Kash on board.
That's the truth. We were talking about that last night, man, about how everybody seems to really like each other. And that's an awesome thing. That's the kind of team, when everybody likes each other, when everybody is looking out for each other, that kind of team can win a Super Bowl. And actually, that kind of team just won a Super Bowl. Go Eagles.
And he's just going to be a great team member for us to fight all of these criminals around this country.
On the subject of, quote, going after, you've gone after the states of New York and the states of Illinois, the city of New York and the city of Chicago for standing in the way of President Trump's efforts to deport illegal migrant criminals. And you're going to get a tremendous amount of pushback from both states. Kathy Hochul said this of your lawsuit against the green light law. She said, we expect Pam Bondi's worthless publicity-driven lawsuit to be a total failure, just like all the others. Let me be clear. New York is not backing down. And then the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, who said this. Listen here.
Unlike Donald Trump, we follow the law in Illinois. Now, maybe they put up with this kind of garbage in Florida, which is the home state of the head of the DOJ. But in Illinois, we have grit. We are tough. We are strong. And
I think he ate all the grits.
Donald Trump has no idea what he's up against when he attacked.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see somebody else who thought they were big and tough today. In just a minute, I got the next report coming up when Trump put Maine right in its place. Oh, it's so good.
Illinois.
So what do you say to the good governors of Illinois and New York?
Roscoe Tree,
bring it on. We are going to protect Americans. When they say they're tough and they have grit, really, they're protecting illegal aliens over American citizens. Not going to happen under Donald Trump's administration. We will find illegal aliens and we will deport them in Illinois, in New York, and in other states. And you better comply with federal law or you're going to be next. We've spoken loud and clear. We are sick and tired of Americans being murdered and these states protecting illegal aliens. Talk to the family of Lake and Riley and all of these other young women and men who have been murdered by illegal aliens and see what you think then when you want to protect them.
As I was heading up here, I saw a headline. I thought I'd ask you to react to it. It was on MSNBC and it said, Pam Bondi brings partisan politics back to the Attorney General office. It goes after you for thinking it was a good idea to attend CPAC and record a podcast with Senator Ted Cruz. They went on to call it a partisan mess. How do you respond to that?
No, the Marxists.
Well, I had a great time yesterday with Senator Cruz and with my friend Benny Johnson, who was there. I recorded something for him if they want to see that also. You know what? We're talking about taking violent crime off the street, fighting the fentanyl epidemic. How is that partisan? And it's almost comical that these people think this is partisan. We're taking the Department of Justice back to its core function, fighting violent crimes and saving children's lives. And that's what we're going to do with DEA, with ATF, with FBI, with the U.S. Marshals, working hand in hand with Kristi Noem at Homeland Security, working with Mike Waltz, working with Pete Hegseth, working with Tulsi Gabbard, working with Marco Rubio. They don't know the team that's hit them. And we're going to protect America at the direction of Donald Trump.
I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you. Madam Attorney General, Pam, great to spend time with you.
Thank you so much.
Madam Attorney General, just laying it out, man. Taking care of business. firing the dead wood, getting it out of there, firing the corruption, draining the swamp. Hey, and there's Jacob Castro. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, we got a full house tonight, man. People are coming in here. They're excited. They're ready to celebrate. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the swearing in ceremonies, man. We're gonna do that coming up here in just a minute. I got a few more quick hits for you, and then we're gonna get right into it. Let's just slide this one up since Roscoe and I are on the same page. There's Grimsbar in the house. Grimsbar, what's up? Welcome to the show, my friend. How you been, dude? How you been, man? Are you out and about these days? You see what's the date? It's still February. It's still mid-February. You still being deep in early first of the year game mode. If my pattern recognition is working on that. Are you around, dude? You want to hang out soon, talk, catch up? We should do that, man. I don't want to let too much time go by, but I know that this is your buckle down and kick some ass in gaming time. So whenever you're ready, just hit me up, man. We'll meet up and we'll hang out, making music again. Okay, so it's starting to come back around. This is the first step. When he starts making music again, he's that's when he's almost over game mode for the first of the year. If this is I think this is our third year, so I'm kind of starting to remember how it works. Dropped a few tracks in the past month. Right on, dude. Right on, man. Keep it up. Keep up the awesome work. And yeah, there you go. You want to check out Grimsbar's awesome homemade music? Right there. See, man, when people care about you, they remember, man. That's the thing. So anyways, yeah, we should catch up soon, dude. Let me get to my next piece here. Oh, this is so good. This is a quick one.
Transgender female.
This is a quick one. Okay, so of course there's going to be people that still want to play the old grift, right? There's still going to be people out there that still want to play the old grift, and they still want to work. They still want their Marxist agenda to get through. They still want to work with their critical race hustle, right? And I don't know why they think it's going to keep working, but it's pretty much run its course. But there's some states out there and some people out there that are exposing themselves for who they are, right? And Maine is one of them. In Maine, you better get your butt in gear. You guys better take care of business up there, because I'm going to tell you right now, the people that you've been following aren't really leading you to a good place, and they're not going to take care of you the way a new leadership that wants to make America great again will. So, come on, Maine. Let's get going. We all enjoy your lobsters. So let's get going. Anyways, check this out.
Transgender female athletes will be allowed to continue competing in Maine. That's according to the Maine Principals Association. And a law professor in New England says Maine has several ways to challenge President Trump's executive order if schools with those athletes lose funding. The MPA says it will continue to follow the state's law when it comes to gender identity. Maine has a Human Rights Act, and a law professor at UNH says there are several ways the president's order titled...
Yeah, see all these little girls right here? They have human rights too. They all have human rights too. They have the right not to have men in their sports, hurting them, stealing their glory, stealing their records, stealing their fun, stealing everything that they've been working hard to do as females. This is the opposite of female empowerment, and they're trying to depower females, and they're also exposing them to perversions, which they should not be exposed to, especially at a young age, where they will allow a fully intact male transposing as a female to come into their locker rooms and to see them naked, to shower next to them, to use the bathroom next to them, to do all the things that men shouldn't be doing in women's bathrooms, and they shouldn't be in there at all, right? So they obviously don't care about you or your daughters or women when they allow this stuff to continue. But President Trump and Team MAGA is working hard to make sure that women are safe, and that female sports has integrity, and that it's there for many, many generations of young girls and women to enjoy and to prosper in.
Keeping men out of women's sports can be challenged in court.
First prong might be this executive order doesn't have the force of law, or it doesn't have the force of law.
Tell me you're a commie without telling me you're a commie. Look at this guy.
In this state. The second prong might be that it runs afoul of Title IX, insofar as the argument would be that Title IX
Mind control is real, people. Mind
requires
control is real.
schools to allow transgender girls to participate in girls' sports.
He says it could also be argued the order violates the 14th Amendment. 2 trans student athletes in New Hampshire are suing the Trump administration over his order. The same students won their lawsuit against New Hampshire over the summer for the state's trans ban.
Woman who exposed all of this, Maine State Rep Laurel Libby. Madam Representative, the Maine Department of Education is defying President Trump's executive order to keep men or boys out of girls' or women's sports. So what needs to happen now to protect girls' sports in Maine?
Yeah, absolutely. Just shortly after President Trump issued his executive order, the Maine Principals Association came out and said that they were going to continue to allow boys to compete in girls' sports here in Maine.
Big mistake.
I can't imagine that anything is going to change either the MPA's minds or Democrat legislators on this policy, except for President Trump's administration taking action and defunding Maine schools until they comply.
Boy. So we got to talk about this classic Trump moment.
Watch this, dude. Watch what Trump does to the guy from Maine. This is so good. You're not going to want to miss this.
As he is speaking with the governors, okay, doing a working session in which he's going to...
And we're going to watch this whole thing later.
All out the Democratic governor of Maine,
just the
Miss
highlight.
Janet Mills, over refusing to comply with President Trump's executive order banning transgender women from women's sports. Okay. And Democrats think that it's a good idea to push back on an issue that is an 80-20 issue in which 80% of American people agree with what President Trump is doing and 20% don't. And for whatever reason, Democrats are hell-bent on standing against the American people. But again, this is a big story out in Maine as Republicans who are exposing.
See, Trump loves winning and they love losing. That's why they want to do that.
The fact that Maine is not
Jenny Graham, how you doing?
With the federal government, with the executive order. They're facing some backlash and some praise at the same time for showing what is happening in Maine. Take a look.
A Maine lawmaker is facing some praise and criticism, too, for posting a photo that she says shows a transgender student on the podium for a girls' sport.
What is that? Why would that be a problem? Why can't you do that? What student athletes can't be? You can't post pictures of people doing athletics. If they're when did that start? No. You can post pictures of people doing athletics and sports at any age.
The I-Team Stephanie Grinley is following this developing story from the live desk. And Steph, that lawmaker just posted again about this today.
Yeah, Marissa, she did, and she's doubling down despite calls to take down the post in the first place. Republican Representative Laurel Libby of Auburn posted on Facebook this week a photo of a student, unblurred, who she named. She also called the student athlete, quote, unremarkable in boys sports. Now we have blurred the student's face to protect the student's identity. Libby
why would you do that? Why can't this, what did they take a picture for here? I mean,
says the student placed fifth in a boys pole vault.
They think we don't have a memory,
but placed first in a girls championship event this week. Libby's post has received thousands of shares and tens of thousands of comments. Some calling the situation unfair to girls. Others calling out Libby for naming the student and sharing the face. Libby appeared on Fox News this week to talk about the situation. In her post, she pointed to a New York Times Ipsos poll that showed 79% of Americans don't think people born as male should play in female sports.
They're perfectly in whack with them destroying the country.
Independent-minded, and they are commonsensical. And this defies common sense.
Now, House Speaker Ryan Fecto gave a statement to the Press Herald saying, quote, all kids, including transgender students, deserve better than to be used as political fodder for internet.
Yeah, tell me this guy doesn't put a dress on when he goes home.
Bullies. They shouldn't have to worry about a politician sharing images of them online without their consent, end quote. Now, we did reach out to Representative Libby for comment today and have not heard back. She posted about the situation again today and has not taken her previous post down. Live in the newsroom, Stephanie Grinley. Greg, back to you.
All right, Stephanie, thank you.
I'm going to go. If you guys can find this person and you're on X, is it on X? Is that where it is? Let's all repost it. Let's all help her out. Let's share it. I'm going to go share. I'm going to find it and share it. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to find it and share it. Now listen to this part. This is fire. This is, guys, this is so good. You're going to love it. This is our president kicking ass.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. So President Trump decided to personally address the governor of Maine over her defiance and Again, this is a classic moment from Trump. This is one of his greatest hits.
2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race.
Yes.
And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, they put up an eighth of an ounce here, an eighth of an ounce there, and it's 218 pounds or whatever was that. And hadn't been broken in 19 years. And then guy walks up,
shared,
who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it, and to protect women. I mean, the women. If you watch the Olympics, you had 2 transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category. And if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no more. I've never been hit. It was a left. It was not even it was just a left jab. She got hit so hard, she said, I can't do it. They forced her to go out. No, go out again. You'll do it. Goes out again, gets hit again. No, that's it. She didn't want to die. And it's crazy, but the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Daisy.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively. And we're going to be protecting our citizens. We're going to protect. So just to end, this administration has been.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that, right?
You heard that.
Total
right?
humiliation for that Democrat governor.
Yeah,
why is that?
She try and take the bull on. Ain't gonna happen. Thank you, Greg, man. Keep up the awesome work, dude. Greg Foreman, y'all. One of my favorites. Top 3 easy creators out there. Just an amazing guy doing amazing work. And for time's sake, I'm gonna give him a like and I gotta move on. Okay. Okay, so this should be the last one. Let me see what we have here. Okay. I don't know that we need to play this
abuse. One. We created the new Department of Government.
Okay, I don't think we have to play this one. So tell you what, why don't we where are we at on time? Okay. Hey, happy Friday, Levy. How you doing? Good to see you. I hope you had a great week. Thanks for being here and joining us for this Friday edition of Winning Tonight. Always great to see Libby in the house, hanging out, man. Always great to see you and your lovely wife in here chilling with us. Oh, we love when you're here and your input. Thank you so much. All right. See, everybody's like, yay. All right. So I don't think we need to do that one. Let me see. Is there one more I can squeeze in here? Okay, yeah, I was pretty content with that. Though I think I can make this one work.
A lot of the houses though.
We'll just highlight this, all right? And because usually how these work with O'Keefe, we'll do the O'Keefe one right now. Usually how it worked with O'Keefe is you get a big upfront kind of preview of the video. He comes in, says a few things, and there's an ad in the middle. Yep, there's the ad. Okay, and then you see the same thing again. And then there's an ad again, and then you see some more stuff at the end. So we're going to try to skip around on this one and make it work. I got his pattern now. He makes good videos. He's got a great channel. He's getting a big thumbs up from me, even though I haven't seen it yet because he does really awesome work. Nacho Kitty, what you been doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, Nacho Kitty, over there on the Rumble side tonight. Guys, make sure if you're on Rumble, You are listening to the Wolf and listening to Heidi, who is over there as well. She usually hangs out in there and does all the modding on the Rumble side, but Wolf was hanging out and doing it on the Rumble on the YouTube side. But I put these up there for everybody to remember to hit the base button. That's the one with the thumbs going up. If you're a mind control victim and you're on base and you're just coming here to torture yourself, you can use the other one because it engages with the stream and it helps, right? So you can use the unbase button or the mind control button, whatever you want to call it, the ones that goes down. You can use that one. Doesn't matter. And then as long as you're engaging, it helps the channel. So thank you. But go ahead and subscribe and follow no matter what platform you're on. Ring the bell. I don't like to bring it up too much, so I just let the Wolf do the talking for me. But man, over on the Rumble side, it helps out. It helps us meet new people, awesome new people like Ozawi13, like TJ Snipe Hunter, like Slidey Pie, like Nacho Kitty. She's been around since the beginning, so she just likes hanging out. She just likes hanging out over on Rumble now. That's her new place to hang out. But she'll come over here to the YouTube side sometimes too, because she's that popular. She needs to be all these different places. But yeah, Nacho Kitty is one of my OGs. She's in the OG category. She goes back to way back. First time streaming back. That's how far back Nacho Kitty goes. So it's always a big treat when she's here, and we really do appreciate it. One of my original mods, right there, OG in the house. Okay, let me get this up on screen here. It's right there in the house there. But yeah, so many great people on it. And if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have all these awesome new people on Rumble here checking us out. Because when you hit the thumbs up on the Rumble side, that's the base button. I mean, you're based in reality. You're part of the solution. It gets out in their algorithm. That's how they do it over there. It's different in YouTube. But that on the Rumble side, that's what I understand. That's how it works. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go and get a highlight reel of this video here. And it is shock and hidden camera confession. LA mayor official admits office new wildfires were coming. Now, is this guy just trying to get laid? Probably.
A lot of the houses, though, so they were out of their yards wrapped. Nobody gave them. This is a long time waiting to happen. It was just a take your time moment.
Meet Alexander Boss, an official inside the office of Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, look there it is. There's that mayor.
Karen Bass. Boss discloses into our hidden camera that Mayor Karen Bass's office knew these wildfires would happen and admits there was nothing the mayor's office could do to stop the fires.
They really had no idea this fire was a possibility.
Of course they did. The thing is, there's nothing they can do. But red flag warnings, it's a big indication of fires.
Yeah.
So of course they did.
The Los Angeles mayor official tells our undercover journalist how Mayor Karen Bass was overseas in Ghana trying to obtain a consulate for Los Angeles there, while the city of Los Angeles was burning to the ground.
So what was the initial response when this all happened? Because the mayor wasn't in town.
First of all, she wasn't just out there partying it up with Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? So she was out there doing what we do.
What was she doing?
So right now, Ghana's trying to establish a consulate in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
One big plan of hers is to integrate African countries to get consulates out here, and that's
Hold on, what? One of her big plans is to integrate African countries to get consulates out here. That's what she's doing. Bush, what's up? How you doing? Bush with Fadden, y'all. Right? Good to see you. Welcome to Winning Tonight Friday edition. Happy that you're here. Good and joining us this evening. Check this guy out. So that mayor that let California burn. Her big thing is that she wants to integrate African countries to get consulates out here. And is this the same people that are in South Africa saying kill the Boers? Kill the Boers people? Those her people? She wants to kill the Boers?
One big plan of hers is to integrate African countries to get
every
consulates out
day,
here,
right?
And that's a big strategic goal of the office.
Our team wanted to investigate further, so we decided to look into the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. This led us to a guy named Angel Luna, and admitted to us into our hidden cameras that the water reservoir that services Pacific Palisades was empty for nearly a year. Angel Luna also stated that the water wouldn't have made a big impact for the residents of Los Angeles.
So that reservoir, we took it out of service because there was a tear.
Yes, Daisy, good idea.
How long was the reservoir empty?
It's like a year. Let's say we had like a little bit of notice. You can't slam fill the reservoir.
It's just, I guess, like people ask questions like, oh, like, could it have been different if there was water in the reservoir, you know?
I don't think it would have made that big of an impact because of the fact that you lost so many homes.
This was Angel Luna's.
Oh yeah, there's a genius for you. Oh, having water to put out the fires wouldn't have made a big impact because you lost so many homes. That's called circular logic. You already know that guy's screwed.
First date with our undercover journalist, and oddly, he revealed he was ignoring his mandatory LADWP training for the Water Emergency Command Center.
So you guys had a training?
So it's the Water Emergency Command Center. It was something that I was ignoring like earlier this year. They're like, oh, here's your training. Like,
these people.
Last month, Los Angeles, California saw devastating wildfires that led to over 12,000 homes being destroyed. Firefighters attempted to save those homes, but the firefighters ran out of water in the fire hydrants. With the tragic events, residents have been asking questions.
Can you imagine being a firefighter when that happened? We're out of water, sir. What?
Demanding answers from their government, OMG decided to take matters into our own hands and obtain answers from local officials using hidden cameras. Meet Alexander Boss, an official inside the office of Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Alexander Boss specializes in international relations for Bass's office. He spoke about his role to one of our undercover journalists.
Come on in, sucker boy.
We're like the social welfare. So I'm not in like the homeless section, which I'm kind of interested in. So we deal with like all the consulates in the area. We deal with any foreign delegations that come into Los Angeles that want to do like any sort of bilateral agreements or just kind of like make business easier between the residents here that are from there or any like potential opportunities. We meet with our deputy. Well, right now we don't have one, but usually when we do have one, we meet with her once or twice a week, like the whole team. And we have a round table and we talk about what we're working on. And it's cool and it's fun.
Boss discloses into our hidden camera that Mayor Karen Bass's office knew these wildfires would happen and admits there was nothing the mayor's office could do to stop the fires.
They really had no idea this fire was like a possibility.
Of course they did. But the thing is, there's nothing they can do. But red flag warnings, like, it's a big indication of fires.
Yeah.
So of course they did.
We all knew
Currently,
it.
Alexander Boss from the Los Angeles Mayor's office works with the victims of the LA wildfires.
Oh God,
Boss
leave
goes
me.
on to blame the spreading of the fires on the residents for their, quote, homes being out of code. Boss also saying, quote, nobody gave a fuck.
How was that today with the fires and helping people?
It was okay. It's just crazy, like seeing
You just
these
gotta fade 'em
people,
out,
like
man.
they've literally like they've lost everything. Like people are like literally breaking down into tears while we're like just trying to sign them in, like get them like the service that they need.
And he's like, and I don't feel a thing.
Yeah, it's just really bad.
Victims from Palisades or
They eat your
everybody?
quesadilla.
Palisades, everybody.
But the other thing too,
No,
like with this fire, like a lot of the houses there, so like they were out of, like their yards were out of code.
Out of what?
Out of code. Like nobody gave them. I don't know. Like this is like a long time.
Out of code, huh? That's what was that what you were saying, Wolfram? Who said that? Who brought that up earlier? Someone did. I think it was Wolfram or somebody. Out of code, typical communist, typical Marxist mindset. It's your fault when they're bad policies and they're bad ideas, inevitably fail and cause destruction and loss. And while they gain from it, it's your fault. Yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that a great ideology? Don't you just want to sign up for it right now?
Like waiting to happen. It was just like a ticking time bomb. But like the houses, like they're supposed to be like a certain amount of feet apart too.
Yeah.
It's not the builder's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's everybody's fault. Everybody's fault.
After experiencing 4 years of a volatile economy,
Yeah, see, and here's the ad. See it right on time. So he puts it right at the 5-minute mark. So if you're right, if you're making videos, you got sponsors, man. James knows how to get it done. And if you want to invest in capital, go to Capital Gains. There you go, or whatever it's called. Fisher OMG. There you go. Make sure he gets his thing in. I don't get anything for that. This is not a paid advertisement.
Karen Bass was overseas in Ghana trying to obtain a consulate for Los Angeles there, while the city of Los Angeles was burning to the ground.
Yeah.
What was the initial?
She's over in Ghana. She went back to the motherland, right? Where she's considered a foreigner and not given the same equal rights as people that are from there, regardless of color. They have it figured out. But yeah, she's over in Ghana. Someone who is a mayor in California is in Ghana trying to make deals. We can send some USAID money over here to you, for some diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what you do is you just get the money and then you give some back to me, and then you come visit. You just kind of bring it with you, right? Yeah, we can make all kinds of sweet deals, man. We hook it up, right? What we got here? Announcement here. All right, let's take a break to announce one of our long-term great friends, supporter and friend, T-Rex Trucking and More. As we know that he's going through some things with his dad. Right now, his dad's going through some things. His family's going through some things. He's in our thoughts and prayers. He has an update. Here it is. Tonight, the and more is for updates. All right. So hello. My dad's surgery went as well as it could have. Slight hiccup, and they thought he might have been having a stroke, but he wasn't. He was intubated. But we are home and he's alive. Thank you to everyone who said the slightest bit of a prayer. And you're welcome, T-Rex, and we wish you the best. Now, hopefully you can take a big, deep breath and let's just get back to the healing, and Dad will be on his feet and back at it before you know it, with a new grasp on life and ready to appreciate every moment of it. So there you go. I think that's what you have in your future. Awesome. All right, cool. So what is a California small-time California mayor doing in a foreign country making deals? Is that right? Is that what mayors do? I thought mayors just walked around and basically stab people in the back. I thought they're just out there trying to get reelected all the time, and they're the ones who know shit, have shit on everybody, and. So what's going on with this woman? Why is she over in Ghana? Why is she over there? Is she trying to tell Ghanans that they need to have more white people so they can be diverse in their government and more white business ownership? Is that what she's over there doing? Is she really trying to put her money where her mouth is, or is it just a one-sided deal? Let's figure it out.
Response when this all happened, because the mayor wasn't in town.
So here's the thing.
There's just been so much conflicting information.
Right. So here's the thing. So we're trying to, first of all, she wasn't just out there partying it up with Bad Bunny. You know what I mean?
Bad Bunny was there?
So she was out there doing work.
What was she doing?
So right now, Ghana's trying to establish a consulate in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
One big plan of hers is
what do they need a consulate in Los Angeles for? I mean, it may be really important. I have no idea. I'm not up on this kind of stuff, but if anybody can help fill me in with some details, please let me know why Ghana needs a consulate in Los Angeles.
To integrate African countries to get consulates out here, and it's not like they're charity cases. We're not doing using city funds to do this.
No,
and
using
also,
federal funds.
This is mutually beneficial, so it benefits.
Oh yeah, okay. I think we're onto something. Lex, what's up? Good to see you.
Goal of the office.
Do you think that prioritizing minorities and stuff is a priority of the mayor's office?
I mean, in general, yes.
The official inside the mayor's office said that President Trump's order to release water from the Central Valley in California was, quote, dumb and not real.
Dumb and not real, huh? I'm pretty sure they showed him turning the water back on, but
through the military, I mean, that was on the news, but
yeah.
So, people believe that shit. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was dumb.
It was dumb?
Yeah.
That he's giving us water?
No.
You want to know what's dumb? What you're doing right now. You know what's dumb? What you're doing right now. It's hilarious, actually.
It's not that.
Talks with his mouth.
All I know is there's a lot of misinformation coming out from TikTok.
Our team wants
On
to
TikTok?
investigate
Now it's
further,
TikTok's
so we
fault.
decided to look into the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. This led us to a guy named Angel Luna, a project manager for the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Angel spoke to our undercover journalist about his role for that department.
But normally, I'm a project manager for on the water side. So it's funny enough because the same people that are my bosses are still the same people, or the people I work with, and the same people I'm working with in this emergency role.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of legal holes, but I'm basically like running around just making sure that people got what they need. So I'm setting up five locations. I'm setting up like 4 more to distribute water.
Distribute water.
Drinking water. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we all do.
Distribute drinking water. I
I
make sure the fluoride's in there and lactic glyphosate and chemicals and stuff.
Oh no, like a couple days out of the week. Well, no, actually 3 days out of the week.
Now, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power project manager admitted to us into our hidden cameras that the water reservoir that services Pacific Palisades was empty for nearly a year.
Wow.
Angel Luna also stated that the water wouldn't have made a big impact for the residents of Los Angeles.
It's like everybody's just kind of like, what happened?
So that reservoir, went out of, we took it out of service because there was a tear on the floating cover, which is it's like $1 billion or so because of that floating cover.
Oh, yeah, you can't give up $1 billion to fix something important. You need to send it over to Ghana so that you can have a mutual beneficial deal, right?
To repair or something like that, but then the cover's rated for 25 years.
How long was the reservoir empty?
It's like a year.
Like
Also,
a year,
even though let's say we had a little bit of
get your lawsuits together
last the reservoir. You can't just we got water.
It's just, I guess, people ask questions could it have been different if there was water in the reservoir?
I don't think it would have made that big of an impact because of the fact that you lost so many homes.
So is there not enough water?
Yeah, there's that circular logic that makes absolutely no sense.
Oh, there's enough water.
Well, we lost homes because we didn't have water, but it wouldn't have made a difference if we had more water because we lost so many homes. See, he probably didn't even understand how wrong he is in that statement. He probably thinks it makes sense to him, right? Yeah, a year, Nacho Kitty, entire year. They couldn't get around to it. It was they need to have that money for make sure Maxine's got the most in style wigs or whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on with that money or how they're blowing it. They're sticking it at make sure Nancy Pelosi can invest in the stock market and become a multi-millionaire on a congresswoman or senator's salary.
There is enough water.
I have more than enough water.
They have been.
You have enough water? Enjoying the water?
It's a continual thing, but it's the winds hit pretty hard this year.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting this.
Obviously, you think it could have helped if there was water in the fire hydrants.
They were also breaking our equipment.
I mean, yeah, I think
who's breaking it?
Okay, we need more water.
The landowners?
Yeah, but
I don't know. So I guess
hey, Lefty, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Our team spoke to
Welcome,
two
man.
National Guard members who admitted Governor Newsom.
I saw you live the other night, but I must have missed it. You went off there. I stopped and left you a comment, man. Just to let you know, stop by to give you a like. So what's going on, dude?
Did not fill the reservoirs and confirm the hydrants were empty when the fires were raging.
I saw that. The fire hydrants, there's no water coming out of it, bro. Why?
Well, I mean, the governor decided not to do the reservoir and shit.
They didn't have water in the hydrants.
No, they didn't. No.
Why?
We've been here since the 10th. It's pretty bad. It is bad. It's the situation it's horrible.
This was Angel Luna's first date with her undercover journalist, and oddly, he revealed he was ignoring his mandatory LADWP training for the Water Emergency Command Center. The training teaches him what to do in emergency situations. Luna goes on to say he did the training after the LA wildfires occurred, and he admitted that he doesn't do his job.
So it's the Water Emergency Command Center, and it's incident command system structure, which it's something it was something that I was ignoring earlier this year. They're like, oh, here's your training, right? I was like, yeah, thanks. Did you do it? No, boss. All right, cool. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys had a training?
Yeah. So and then I get a reminder, even though like I'm a supervisor and told that like all right, I got to do this. So like I gave it like the college trials, like, oh, this is super dry because a robot voice is reading this to me. So I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter whether people die or not. The robot voice is boring me.
Yeah, like I tried doing it. I was like, I'm gonna just print it out. I'm gonna try doing the test at the end so I can just do it. I was like, no, it didn't work, right? But then
Couldn't even pass it that way, huh?
Seeing like what it is in real time, it's like, oh, now all this makes sense. So I went back and did all of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, now it makes sense after people like, lost their lives and their property. Oh, that's what the training's for. That's why we have procedures. Oh, that's what that's for. I thought they just made that to bore me and kind of justified my position. I actually needed to know this shit. Wow. Well, at least Angel here is learning as he goes, right?
You guys required to do that type of stuff?
Yeah.
In recent months, many of our fellow Americans
here we go.
experienced unprecedented natural.
Let's speed it up here. This is about the wellness company. If you want to get some wellness, check out the company. And now we're going to go back and this looks like a good deal too, by the way. You might want to check it out. All right. So this is not a paid advertisement, not for me. All right, here we go. And boom.
Finally, we sent our team, our correspondents on the ground in Los Angeles to ask residents what they thought about the LA officials.
So we're here in Pacific Palisades, Los Angeles, California. And as you see, we're in front of the disaster that happened a couple weeks ago due to the fires that were raging here. We spoke to some of the residents from Los Angeles. Here's part of our conversation.
I worked at a preschool in the Palisades, and I was actually there.
What was the preschool?
Pali Press.
Yeah.
And I was there the day that the fires happened, and so we had to evacuate all the children.
What do you guys think of the mayor?
I don't think her actions were what they could have been during the time.
When doing a drum solo?
Mainly seen a lot of.
You guys hear that? It's like he just come in here. It's called a drum solo cafe. You just go in there and listen to people do drum solos. Doom, da, doom, da, doom, da, doom, doom, da, doom, da, doom, doom, da, doom, da, doom. Thank you for the super chat. Talking trash and choose $5. These O'Keefe fits are unreal. How did these people not realize what's going on? Oh, they're trying to get laid and they're drinking. So I think that helps. I think that's one of the reasons why, they find them on dating apps. I've never used one of those things. I don't know, are they good? I don't know, man. But evidently, these guys go out there and be like, oh yeah, I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal. You definitely want to have me back to your place tonight. I'm a big deal. Why can't they just use their charm and looks? Why they gotta be like, oh yeah, I work with important people. It's like, whatever, man. No wonder these guys. The funny part about it is 100% of these people that they go on these dates don't get laid. 100%. Like, well, I just got you on hidden camera, but now I'm going to screw you. No, this never happens. These guys never get laid, and they're on a date. And like, what else are they trying to do, right? Oh yeah, there you go. Arby nailed it. Evil is vain and loves to boast. That's true. Ronnie Jam, what's up? Hello, how are you doing over there, Ronnie Jam? Are you Ronnie from YouTube on Rumble? Or are you a different Ronnie? Ronnie Jam, what's up? Good to meet you. If you're our Ronnie, who I haven't seen in a minute, that we already know over here on the YouTube side. Good to see you. But if you're new, welcome, Ronnie. Oh, yes, you are. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, good. All right. Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Good. There you go. See, everybody's glad to see you. Dating apps suck. They're a waste of time and money. How do these people end up on dates? You know why? Because they put where they work on their damn profile. Important person in the government. Please come and get me on hidden camera saying dumb shit.
Different fires starting up from like different random people, like
arsonists.
Yeah, I do feel like Gavin Newsom was a big part of not being able to get it extinguished.
We did a kick-ass job.
You like Karen Bass?
Kick-ass. Yes.
Why'd she do a kick-ass job?
She's trying to get what she can, and she's working with all the BS that the other people.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He thinks he's doing a kick-ass job because he's a look at who's standing right next to him. Look at who's with him. What's that right there? That's not a woman. That's not a woman. But yeah, look who's standing right next to him. That's a man. That's a man, baby. You can see the little out of that. That's a man, baby. All right. And yeah. So yeah, he's with his boyfriend here, and he thinks she's that Karen. Well, he's got 2 phones on his bike. Is he like doing the Pokemon or something? Why has he got 2 phones on his bike? That's weird. Why would you have 2 phones on your bike like that? That's just really strange. But yeah, she's doing a great job because she's trying to get people and do things. Yeah, did you know that she was actually over in Africa when all this happened, trying to make a mutually assured deal with foreign people in a foreign country? I mean, did you know that? I bet he didn't. I bet he was too high.
Above her giving her crap for it.
There's only 3 houses on my street that survived, and mine was one of them. Yeah.
Who would you?
Probably the mayor, because the reservoirs weren't filled up.
We also got the chance to speak to Steve Slepcevic,
base
the
kid.
CEO and
Sorry
founder
about
of
sorry,
Strategic
in
Response
California.
Partners. SRP is a network of experienced disaster management professionals who serve property owners in nearly all aspects of disaster preparation, response, and recovery. SRP has been on the ground in LA helping local homeowners. Steve told us that firefighters were sent into the battle with no bullets.
And those firefighters that do an excellent job, it's not their fault. They're ready to go. But when they show up at a battlefield with no bullets, that responsibility goes right to the top. Say, well, even if we had a lot of trucks, we couldn't have stopped it. That's interesting. We do private fire. Every structure that we stood up, we saved.
We showed Steve the hidden camera footage from the LA mayor's official, and here's what he had to say.
The mayor's put in a position to protect the residents, to provide opportunities, economic opportunities in those neighborhoods, right? That's what the mayor's position is. Right. So it's a failure on government, hands down. You expect that the resident who maybe moved in here from Germany or somewhere else knows what a red flag warning is? I don't care what you say at the end of the day, results don't lie. And based on results, no water in the reservoirs, no water at the hydrants, right?
Logical guy. This dude, run for mayor. I want this guy to run for mayor. Run for mayor, dude.
In the boneyard with no parts.
We caught up with Alexander Bose, international relations staffer for LA Mayor Karen Bass, and here's how it went.
Alex, hi. Hey, you worked for Mayor Karen Bass, is that correct?
Oh.
I'd like to talk to you about some of the comments you made.
I don't.
This is you on hidden camera right here. You spoke about how the houses were out of.
And look how fast he lied. I don't. Oh no. Yes. You're another guy who's on a hidden camera, not getting laid, spilling his guts about everything, and reveling in his corruption. Yes. You're that guy. True.
Code for the Pacific Palisades residents. Is that right? Is that you? Do you work for Karen Bass? I know you're not mute. You talk to her all the time.
Yeah.
This is you on
Sure
camera.
do.
Alex.
All right, I'm going to call the police.
Call the police.
Call them.
Journalists. This is the First Amendment. We're asking questions about the comments you said.
I'm going to call the police. Help
Bring them.
me.
If you could please.
Bring on the police.
Is this you with Mayor Karen Bass?
Oh, yep. There you are.
Why was she
It's easy
in
to pick you
Ghana
out
when
in that
houses
crowd.
were being deleted by the fires?
No comment.
Have you met the mayor?
No.
Yes, you did. Why are you lying?
You're a liar.
Okay, you know
You
what?
compulsive liar?
So why was she in Ghana? You said she wasn't partying with Bad Bunny. Who was she partying with? Alex.
Alex, you're going to
Where are you
lose your
going?
job anyways. You might as well talk to us.
Alex, you said the president getting water for Los Angeles was dumb.
Dumb.
Why
yeah,
is it
dude.
dumb to give water
Dumb.
to people? Those are your words.
Why is it dumb, Alex?
Sir.
Alex, why is it
Do you
dumb?
think it's dumb for people to have water?
Yeah,
Where are you going?
Where are you going, Alex?
You know where you parked?
Have you lost your
You
mind,
said that
Alex?
the
You feel like
office
your whole world's
knew that the
collapsing,
fires were coming because of red
like
flag indications.
Your life's flashing before your
You
eyes.
said there was
Alex.
nothing that they could do. You think the mayor's responsible for the fires? Alex. What do you think the residents will think of your comments?
Alex, why don't you wash your car? Alex.
Alexander Boz, International Relations Mayor's Office, threatening to call the cops on
cops?
a journalist for asking questions.
Where's the
Let's get a
cops?
shot of him, please.
Where's the cops? Oh, don't forget
So
to
we're
put the
calling
camera on.
Angel Luna, a project manager from Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, for his
Call him.
comments to an undercover journalist. You spoke
want
to
you
our
to.
undercover journalist just a few weeks ago
about how the Santa Ynez water reservoir was not full. I'd like to get your comment on the record about that.
You would actually have to speak to our legal representation for.
Well, I have you on hidden camera speaking about how you're blaming the LA firefighters for breaking the equipment, and that's why they don't have water in the fire hydrants. What's your comment?
Once again, I would still need to run this through legal.
And why didn't you do your emergency water command training when you spoke to our undercover journalists? Then you did it after the fire. Why did you do that?
Where's the chat at, man?
Once again, I'll need to speak to legal representation.
Well, I'd like to hear from you. I'm talking to you.
Well, once again, I will need to speak to legal representation.
What do you think the LA residents
what do you guys think of this guy?
will see and think of when they see that you're saying that I didn't do my training, you're blaming the firefighters, there was no water in the fire hydrants? What's going on there, Angel?
Once again, I'll still need to speak to my legal representation.
Well, I'd like to talk to you. I know. Let's have a conversation about this, Angel. I think it's pretty damning to say these things. And you don't have water in the reservoir. People's houses were burning down. Y'all didn't have water. So what's going on, Angel?
Come on, Angel.
Once again, thank you for approaching me on this, but I will still need to speak to legal representation.
And when can I hear back from you on that? You said you're going to speak to
What's up, Matt Core? How you doing, my friend?
I will not be coming back to you. You can speak to legal representation. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, last question I have for you.
I'll see the video link.
And he hung up. Angel Luna, LADWP.
Yeah, we'll see a link to the video. You can
We'll be doing a lot of follow-up reporting on the fires in Los Angeles, on the statements made by
taking
these
ass
officials.
and taking names.
If you're on
James
the inside
O'Keefe.
of any government agency in California or anywhere in Los Angeles, you know who to call. Our signal number is 914-491-9395. Our email address tips@o'keefemediagroup.com. Our reporters are standing by. We are hot on the story here in California and elsewhere, deep within the desert. Stay tuned next week for a follow-up. We'll get back to you.
Kicking
Be
ass
brave.
and take
And as
names.
always, our price is our life. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sorry for the gotta wait for it to stop here. Okay. Did everything stop? All right, cool. Let's bring this down. Yeah. You know, hang on a second. If I come down this way a little bit more, I'll take a little bit away from that screen over there. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I come more over here or something. All right, guys. Hey, Matt Core, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Happy that you're tuning in from way down under. It's Saturday afternoon in Australia, I believe. How's Saturday? Tell us how Saturday is going to be. How is everything going with you, my friend? You got the new thing going on, man? When are we going to be able to see you on a live stream again? I hope that you will come grace us and come back to the big screen sometime in the future. I know you got things going on down there, but we think about you and we love you. So I hope you're doing great, man. Yeah, even our Aussie friends know the Fifth Amendment. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, guys, big moment here. Big time. It's time to do the thing. It's time to do the thing. And just a reminder to everybody to please listen to the Wolf and do your thing. And if you're really digging it, man, I'd love to have your support. Love to have your subscription. Love to have you hanging out with the most based crowd in the scene right here in the house. You see their names popping up on the screen all the time because you got a voice. I'll put you up here as much as I possibly can. That doesn't mean you shouldn't super chat, but anyways, going great, mate. Just opened a Pokemon card. All right, cool. You said you've been working out, man. I'm doing some transformation down there in a good way. The good transformation, right? The good transformation. I want to hear all about it, man. As you go along, we should catch up sometime, dude. We should catch up sometime. I've been so busy with these shows and trying to get everything straight here in real world that hold on, that I don't want to miss out on catching up with folks. So sometime we should get together, just hang out, chill out. I don't know what games you playing these days. Playing Think Cool? I haven't played games in a long time. Been busy. All right. Well, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you and the family are doing awesome down there, down under. And believe me, we want things to go great for our Australian friends as well. we hope that as things get better here, they get better there. All right, we got your back. Got your back. All right. Time for the big events. The swearing in. We're going to do some swearing. All right. And we're going to go to RSBN. Losing weight, lost 9 kilos in 3 weeks. That's 19 pounds for you Americans. Thank you for translating for us because we have no idea what 9 kilos is. So what is it like? You just add, I can see here 19 pounds. Okay, but 19 pounds. So is it you just add 10 to whatever, or you add 10 to whatever kilos is? So if you said 9 kilos equals 19 pounds, does 10 kilos equal 20 pounds? Is that, can I do some fast math now? I love fast math. It's sort of like the botfly larva in flesh clusters with names of like the botfly. What? Yeah. Laugh about pounds. Yeah, pounds. We got you. Yeah, but those are metric weeks. Are those metric weeks? That's funny. Good one, Jacob. Good one. Don't worry. We'll get you into the base measurement system here one day. All right. Let's go. I'm ready to see some swearing in, right? So here's how it's gonna work. One kilo is roughly 2.2 pounds. What about a kilo? All right. So here's how it's going to work. First, we have Howard Lutnick, and he's the opener, right? And then we're going to bounce on over and see Trump swore in or was there for the swearing in. They didn't know office of Howard Lutnick. He was sworn in by J.D. Vance himself. So, ladies, get ready. J.D. Vance on screen shortly. And then we just bounced on over to another important building somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but over to where Pam Bondi will be swearing in Kash Patel. And we'll be doing this, of course, at winning speed because that's the only way to do this. Only way. But yeah, thank you, RSBN, for putting together this nice package so I don't have to go play 2 separate videos. Thank you. So we're going to get kickoff, right? Kickoff.
Floor here at the top.
Here we go.
3 or 4 floors of the World Trade Center, the North Tower of the World Trade Center. And every day Howard got up and went to work early. He'd always go in and he'd go to work early, and he'd be there 6 o'clock in the morning. And as you know, the hit was around 8:45 or something like that. So he would have been there on almost any day other than this, because his wife was very angry at him because he wouldn't deliver his child to school. She said, "You never take." Who is the child? Let me see. Where's the child? The Lou, you saved your father's life. You saved your father's life, huh? Should hold that against. You're gonna leave him more than the other kids, right? Well, so he took. What is your first name? Kyle. He took Kyle. Kyle, congratulations, nice job. But he took Kyle that one day to school after years. He finally said, "Okay, I'll do it," and that's the only time. So he was actually riding down the West Side Highway and he saw the plane hit. And it's an amazing, and the rest is history. And your brother was in there too, I think, right? Yeah. And it was just it's a big story.
Man,
every single Cantor Fitzgerald employee who was at work that day lost their lives, which is almost 100% of the company.
Talk about having a new lease on life, right? Talk about like feeling divine intervention, right? Like, I mean, just to miss it by that much because of that one thing. I'd be like, honey, you can yell at me anytime you want to about the shit I don't do now. I'm gonna be listening because you just saved my ass by bitching me out. How often does that happen? So next time, fellas, you're getting bitched out by your woman, you might want to think about it. She might be just trying to save your life. You know, same here, ladies. Same here. If he's got something to say, if he's mansplaining something to you or whatever, however you want to take it that day, he may just be saving your life. So we got to appreciate every little moment and every little thing. Just like Howard Lutnick.
Howard lost more than 650 friends because they were all friends. Had a really well-unified, just highly respected company, a lot of talent in that company. But the employees, loved ones, including his brother and best friend, and most people would have been defeated. They would have probably gone on to not too much. But Howard rebuilt the company step by step. And as he did it, he gave a tremendous amount of the profits and other things to his colleagues who were killed in the World Trade Center on that horrible day. And it showed something about Howard that's really incredible, his resilience. It's very few people could have even thought of doing it, but his resilience and tenacity have earned him the respect and admiration of everyone in the financial world. But more importantly, Howard understands from personal experience why we put America first, because we love our families, we love our fellow citizens, and we love our country so much. And he really loves his country, and I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think so. And he's got so many friends in New York and Wall Street and elsewhere, and he has he's a relationship person, and they're always the best, and he's the best at it. As Secretary of Commerce, Howard will work tirelessly to protect our workers and our wealth and grow our economy into the strongest in the history of the world. You know, when he rebuilt the company, it actually became much bigger and much stronger than the original company, which is almost impossible to do. It became hotter than even the original Cantor Fitzgerald.
All right, hold on. We got a special event here. Special event. Heidi, thank you for letting me know about that. It looks like, let's see. Ronnie Jam. Welcome to the winner circle on the welcome to the winner circle on Rumble side. Thank you so much for becoming a monthly supporter on Rumble. That's right. So now I got 3 people thing every show for being a monthly supporter on Rumble. Thank you so much for that. That's great. It's what an exciting time. It's always awesome when that happens, but I don't often get to say that for the Rumble side. So that's really cool, man. Thank you so much. And actually, Rumble does me a little bit better on that too. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And welcome to the winner circle on the Rumble side. You were already on the winner circle on the YouTube side for a little while. And I'm guessing something might have happened to your account or something because you're not there, but that's okay. But thank you for coming back to the winner circle on the Rumble side. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Guys, and if you're on the Rumble side, shout outs to Ronnie Jam for joining the team. All right. Let's get back to it.
But he's going to be unmatched as an emissary working to get jobs and investments. And his favorite word, and I'm going to move him down to 4th favorite word. First is family, love, God. Not necessarily that order, by the way. I think let's put God first. All right, we'll put God first. You know why? Because we don't want to take any chances. That's why. But I did that once. I said I put tariff as my favorite word. Well, and the fake news went out and they really got me. I'll tell you. They said, "What about God, family, relationship?" A couple of words, and I said, "You're right." And so I made it now my 4th favorite word. And Howard, I think you'll go along with me, number 4, maybe even number 5 or 6. But he really understands something about business. And we have been called by so many companies. Yesterday, we had Tim Cook of Apple in, who's going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the country because of what we're doing. And we have many, many companies, too many to even mention. They're coming roaring back into this country. And it'll take maybe a little time, but not that much time. You're going to see things that you've never seen before at a level that you've never seen before. And Howard's going to lead that charge. And
never get tired of it.
He'll help oversee the tariff and trade agenda along with many other things. We'll soon impose reciprocal tariffs because that means they charge us, we charge them. It's very simple. Whatever a company or a country such as, let's say, India or China or any of them, whatever they charge, we want to be fair. So reciprocal meaning they charge us, we charge them. We haven't done that. We've never done that. We were getting ready to do it until COVID. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world, and we were just getting started. But the tariffing is going to be very interesting. Howard's going to be in charge of it. And I think you're going to see jobs and money flowing into the country like never has been seen before as we reduce inflation, unleash energy, bring down costs, bring back manufacturing, and lead the world in innovation. Families will flourish and opportunities will skyrocket. We will skyrocket like
Howard's going to be the tariff king.
It's going to be a really big thing. And I wouldn't feel the same confidence if I didn't have this man on my left. And even though he spent a little bit of his time in life as a Democrat from New York, I'm okay with it because I knew him during his Democrat days, and that's okay. But I just want to say that he is going to help very strongly make America wealthy again, make America great again, and there's nobody that can do the job better. So, Mr. Secretary of Commerce, I just welcome you aboard.
Go, Lutnick.
Nothing you can do so big as this. There's no deal you can do that's bigger. Every deal. That's why you can never go back into business because it seems like small potatoes, no matter how big it is, including even Cantor Fitzgerald. It's all small potatoes compared to what we're doing now. So it's a great honor to have you and your family aboard. Thank you very much. And thank you very much in particular. Thank you very much.
All right. Here, say a few words, Howard.
So, first, I'd like to thank you, President Trump. It is the greatest honor to work for you, to be with you, to carry your name, your leadership, and your flag throughout the world. The press has no idea who the gentleman to my left is. They portray him in all sorts of ways, but I know him as the smartest, most thoughtful, and most intuitive person I've ever met. And it's amazing to be in this room and to work for him. I have to my right my friend J.D. Vance, who was kind enough even to introduce me to the Senate, and he gave me the greatest compliment. He called me a good dude.
Good dude.
So I have really the most wonderful family. I have my wife, Allison. We've been married for 30 years. And I always, when I come home, because I come home late at night, I walk in the door and I yell, "Hello, greatest wife." She's just an amazing girl. My 4 children, Kyle, who you know has saved my life. So now this is going to cost me dearly. My son, Brandon, my daughter, Casey, my son, Ryan, and my sister, Edie, my 2 brothers-in-law, Gary and Rick, my sister-in-law, Abby. I mean, this is as beautiful a day as you could have. The opportunity that the Trump administration is going to bring to America is so extraordinary. You know, people think the golden age is a statement. It's like saying MAGA, make America great again.
Real deal.
This is the greatest country on earth. It is such a great country that we can take care of our citizens and give them their Social Security. We can take care of everyone and give them their Medicaid. But we are going to get rid of so much waste, fraud, and abuse. We're not going to hurt anybody, but we're going to get rid of it. And then we are going to grow this economy in a way that people have never seen. And under the Trump administration, my goal, and I'm happy to wear it on my shoulders, is we are going to balance the budget of the United States of America because Donald Trump understands global business. It's the first time you put in that chair the greatest businessman in the United States of America. And I just, for one, I have to tell you, I cannot be more proud to serve my great friend and the greatest president in America, Donald J. Trump.
Nice. Well done. Well done. Well done. Here we go. All right.
So now we get to swear Howard in. Now we need the actual sign the commission first. Okay, Mr. President, we're going to sign the commission first. I can't swear him in, I guess, until you sign the commission. Yes, sir.
He goes, okay, give me the damn pen. Let's go.
You ready? You sure? It's the last time. You can change your mind.
I get to work for you right here. It's better than this. This room down looks so beautiful.
How do you like to do? Look, the desk is a different desk. It's one of 7, but the Resolute desk is being renovated and refurbished after many, many years of service. It'll be back in 4 weeks.
Nice.
In case anybody missed it.
Just to translate that, he's getting the old man smell out of it from Biden, just to let you know, and some of the razor blade marks that were left on the top of the desk, he's getting that taken care of as well, and some of the children's hair that was stuck in the corners. So yeah, good job. Get that desk fixed. We don't want any of that remnants of that old mummy on the desk.
Okay, Howard. You're in.
Nice. You see in the back there, Gulf of America. Gulf of America.
All right, now Howard, come next to your beautiful wife and your beautiful family here. Put your hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Howard Lutnick.
I, Howard Lutnick.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
I will take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary.
Look at that. They did a bro shake too. He's got himself a honey there. He's got a honey. Very excited.
You were considering merging the United States Postal Service with the Commerce Department. Can you elaborate on if this is something you're considering?
Well, we want to have a post office that works well and doesn't lose massive amounts of money. And we're thinking about doing that. And it'll be a form of a merger, but it'll remain the Postal Service. And I think it'll operate a lot better than it has been over the years. It's been just a tremendous loser for this country. Tremendous amounts of money are being lost. And I think that it'll be very good and keep it a very similar way, but whether it's a merger or just using some of the very talented people that we have elsewhere, so it doesn't lose so much. It's losing a tremendous amount of money.
Some members of Congress in red districts are facing pushback from voters in town halls. We know that Americans voted for you on the immigration and the economy, but these voters say they're angry and frustrated by these firings. They don't like the work of Elon Musk and these other actions. What do you say to that?
Who do you work for?
I work for ABC News, sir.
Who?
ABC News.
No wonder. Let me just tell you that I have today the highest poll numbers I've ever had. I have today the highest poll numbers of any Republican president ever. We haven't even checked the Democrats, but that's what I was just told. And they like the job that we're doing. They like the job that Elon's doing. He's doing something that a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to do. We want to streamline our country. We want to streamline, because you know why? Because we want our country to survive and thrive. And we're finding billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. Billions. And I mean numbers like you wouldn't believe. And we haven't even started yet. Right. So it's actually just the opposite. We've polled it, and people are thrilled. They can't even believe it's happening. And it won't affect many people. It only affect the people that get caught stealing. The waste, fraud, and abuse is at a level like nobody's ever seen. It's been going on for years. And all you have to do is look at the Social Security rolls, look at some of the things, look at where the money is going. The Attorney General is looking into something, environmental protection, $20 billion. And it's out and out fraud. So I think the people are very happy. Yes, please.
Mr. President, I want to ask you about this week, the Secretary spent 4 hours with the European Union trade representative. The European Union has signaled that they would lower tariffs and do a trade deal with the United States.
Yeah, the European Union wants to come back. They've treated us very badly. And the European Union wants to lower their tariffs because of the fact we were paying fortunate tariffs. We couldn't sell a car there. We couldn't sell our farm products there. They wouldn't take anything. Now, all of a sudden, they're being very nice. And that's going to happen with a lot of others, too. The European Union is wanting to lower its barriers at very low levels. They want to now bring their car number, which was extremely high, down to 2.5%, which is the same thing that we charge. That's reciprocal. See, that's what is happening, reciprocal. And I think it's a big start in the right direction with the European Union.
Yes. You called President Zelensky of Ukraine a dictator. Do you think that President Putin of Russia is also a dictator?
I think that President Putin and President Zelensky are going to have to get together, because you know what? We want to stop killing millions of people. You have young soldiers being killed. If you saw the pictures that I saw of the battlefield from satellite, you've never seen any pictures like that. Soldiers are being killed by the thousands a week, thousands of soldiers a week. As we speak, they're being killed. That's why I want to see a ceasefire, and I want to get the deal done. I think we have a chance to get the deal done. I had to make sure that Russia wanted to do it. It's a war that would have never happened if I was president, but it did happen. So I got stuck with it, and I want to stop people from being killed. You know, it doesn't affect the United States very much. It's on the other side of the ocean. It does affect Europe. And we've put in 3 times more money. We're in for 300 billion. They're in for 100 billion. Man. And you know, Europe is also doing it in the form of a loan. Biden just gave them money. There was no loan. There was no security. There was no anything. So we're going to either sign a deal, or there's going to be a lot of problems with them. So we're going to sign a deal to get security, because we have to do that. We're spending our treasure. They're spending their blood. They are. And they're very brave, and you know, in every way you can imagine. But we are spending our treasure on a country that's very, very far away. And it's okay, but we have to be treated the same as Europe is being treated. Europe gets their money back. Europe is basically giving nothing, because they get it back in the form of a loan, and it's a guaranteed loan. We don't get our money back, and we're losing. I mean, we don't want to do that anymore. So we're signing an agreement, hopefully in the next fairly short period of time, that will assure us that we'll get $400 or $500 billion back. We're in there for $300 billion. Now, one other thing, Europe is at 100. We're at 300. We think it has to equalize. In other words, they have to come up with more money, because it has a big effect in Europe. It doesn't have much of an effect on us, because we have a big, beautiful ocean in between. But it does affect. And Biden should have never gotten us into this mess. We had an incompetent president who got us into a mess. But we're going to get you out of it. The same thing in the Middle East. We're going to have some good news in the Middle East. What happened yesterday, the sight of those babies, was not acceptable to anybody. Nobody's seen anything like it.
Mr. President, are you going to Moscow? There's a report out of France that you're going to Moscow on May 9th.
No, I'm
to join President Putin.
I'm not.
And then if I could, sir, just ask you about Kash Patel, who's going to be sworn in soon as your FBI director. Talk to us about your reaction to him getting sworn in, and the fact that many agents across the country are concerned that they will be fired en masse for simply just doing their job.
No, I think the agents are very happy about Kash. In fact, the agents led the charge for Kash. One of the reasons I loved Kash and wanted to put him in is because of the respect the agents had for him. I think he'll go down as the best ever at that position. And it turned out he was very easy to get approved. You know, I was not sure. He's a tough guy, strong guy. He has his opinions, and I wasn't sure. He turned out to be he went very smoothly. I don't know if he's in the room now. He's going to be in the room very shortly. Where is he? Good. I'm saying the right thing. I can't speak too
badly about him, I better be careful. I will say this about Kash, and Howard understands this. One of the reasons that I wanted him is because the agents love this guy and they respect this guy, and this is what they wanted. And even somebody like Trey Gowdy, who's a very good guy, but known as somewhat of a moderate person, he came out with a statement that was so incredible. He said, Kash is an incredible person. People don't realize it. When he said that, there was no doubt left. It was really a big statement made by somebody that's respected and on the moderate side. And I will tell you, I think Kash is going to go down as maybe the best ever when we're done. So I'm glad he's willing to do it. Thank you, Kash.
A little bit more. You talked about, can you speak a little bit more about your meeting with Tim Cook? You said that he was going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars. Is specific projects that he spoke to you about? And like what were those?
All over the country. He's going to start building. He doesn't want to pay tariffs, and he's going to start building. But very big numbers. You have to speak to him. I assume they're going to announce it at some point. But very big numbers. He was here yesterday. I met with him at length, and Apple is coming here with tremendous dollars. They're going to be spending a lot of money in the United States, more than they've ever spent by a factor of probably 10.
Did you reporting that you were signing a memo later to counter digital service taxes?
Well, will you speak? I mean, what are you doing? Reading it?
Yeah,
Can't you just say it without having to read it?
My question?
Yeah.
Sure. We're reporting that you're expected to sign tariffs or a memo later on tariffs on digital taxes. Is there any idea how high you might go?
We are going to be doing that digital. What they're doing to us in other countries is terrible with digital. So we're announcing that. Are we signing it maybe today?
Today.
And we'll talk about that in a little while.
Are you going to put the secretary in charge of the Postal Service?
He's going to look at it. He's got a great business instinct, which is what we need. And he'll be looking at it, and we think we can turn it around. But it is the Postal Service. I mean, we're leaving the Postal Service, but we're losing so much money with the Postal Service, and we don't want to lose that kind of money. So the secretary and some others that have talent, that kind of talent, we'll be looking at.
So how close are you to a minerals agreement with Ukraine, Mr. President?
What?
How close are you to striking a minerals deal?
I think we're pretty close. Yeah, I think they want it. And they feel good about it, and it's significant. It's a big deal, but they want it, and it keeps us in that country, and they're very happy about it. But it's we get our money back. This should have been signed long before we went in. This should have been signed by Biden, but Biden didn't know too much about what he was doing. The war should have never happened, number one. When it did happen, it could have been settled the first week or 2 weeks. After that, it got bad. It got really bad. But it should have never happened, and it should have been settled, and it could have been settled very easily at the beginning. Now it's tougher, but we'll get it settled.
Germany has elections on Sunday. What are your thoughts? What do you expect to happen in the elections on Sunday?
Who has elections?
Germany.
Oh, Germany. I wish them luck. We got our own problem. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There he goes. There he goes.
We got our own problem. Don't worry about Germany. All right. Thank you.
Yep. There you go. All right.
What a way to start the weekend. All right. So we saw Howard Lutnick sworn in. We're going to play you in full what's happening with Kash Patel, the great 9th FBI director.
Okay. So I'm not sure why they did it this way, but Kash Patel went to a different room and did his swearing in there. So I'm not sure what that's about, but anyways, here it is.
I'm okay with it because I knew him during his Democrat days, and that's okay. But I just want to say that he is.
Where's that come? Hold on. They got the wrong audio.
Going to help very strongly make America wealthy again. Make America.
Like he's going to come back on and apologize. Oh, we're very sorry. We did it wrong. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here we go, guys. The big moment we've all been waiting for. Bring in the heat. Bring in the heat. A heater.
Thank you all
closer.
for being here today to celebrate Kash Patel. And I want to hurry and get him sworn in because I'm the happiest person today ever. All right, here we go. Please place your hand on the Gita and raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I, Kash Patel, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
There it is. There it is.
Wow. First and foremost, we were just with President Trump, and I just want to thank him. I know he's not here in the room right now, but what a ride we have been on, what a courageous warrior and leader he has been, and the faith and trust he has put in me to lead the FBI is the greatest honor that I'll ever have in my life. And to General Bondi, that sounds pretty freaking cool. Pam, you're my sister, you're my mentor, you're my friend, you're my boss.
Okay, hold on. So what, was that his mom that was holding the Bible for him? I was trying to figure out who's who here. Is that his chick behind him in the white? What's going on? Someone fill me in.
Confidence you have placed in me, I will never violate that trust. The men and women of the FBI will be led under your leadership through one standard, the Constitution. So thank you for entrusting me, Pam. Oh man, this is effing crazy.
Oh yeah, he's rocking it.
So obviously you don't get here alone. You know, I'm here because of God. I'm here because of my family, and I'm here because of my friends. And you're literally in this room because you made it happen. My sister, Nisha, and my nephew Aryan flew in from London just to be here. My beautiful girlfriend Alexis is here.
Alexis.
Yes, I agree. My aunts and uncles are here. They come from all over the country. I am living the American dream. And anyone that thinks the American dream is dead, just look right here. You're talking to a first-generation Indian kid who's about to lead the law enforcement community, the greatest nation on God's green earth. That can't happen anywhere else. To the senators and the men and women of the United States House of Representatives, you placed an enormous trust in me, an enormous leap of faith. One that I didn't know that I could possibly earn back, but I'm going to spend every single day on this job doing so. The fact that you placed the confidence you did in me has inspired me to reach new heights at this job.
Having
I
a
promise
girlfriend
you
named
the
Alexis
following.
stays
There will
must
be accountability
hilarious.
within the FBI and outside of the FBI, and we will do it through rigorous constitutional oversight starting this weekend. This is great. We all used to live in the same freaking house. Yeah, I don't have any prepared remarks. I wish I could go around the room and, you know, tell the story about how each and every one of you have magically touched my life to put me in this position. What a
Really
roller coaster
magically
ride it
touched
has
your life
been.
more than Alexis.
I do know this. We are in this room together because you guys have a love of country that is truly inspirational, and it bleeds out everywhere we go. And if you look around this room, you see civil servants, you see warriors, you see attorneys, you see great husbands and fathers and mothers and wives. And we're fighting for the same thing, our future, our children, this guy. And there is no greater mission. I wish I had more words to thank every single one of you, but every time I look at every single one of you, you guys know the stories you can't tell. More importantly, the ones you can. You know, this is, Pam and I were just talking in the back, and we were like, do you believe this? Like, you know, we were on the campaign trail together. We were attorneys in the first administration together. Now we're here. She's the attorney general. I'm the director of the FBI. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And I don't really fully believe it yet. I hope to, but I'm just not here without you guys. And look, I know the media's in here. And if you have a target, that target's right here. It's not the men and women at the FBI. You've written everything you possibly can about me that's fake, malicious, slanderous, and defamatory. Keep it coming. Bring it on. But leave the men and women of the FBI out of it. They deserve better. And for those of you who think that there's going to be a two-tier system of justice, not with Attorney General Bondi. There's a singular system of justice for all Americans, and there will be accountability.
Hell yeah.
And the reason
there we go.
that this mission is so important is simply the following. 100,000 people last year raped. 100,000 people died of CCP fentanyl overdose and heroin. 17,000 homicides. Violent crime is out of control. We cannot have a United States of America where that is acceptable, where someone dies every 30 minutes, where someone ODs every 7, where someone's raped every 6. That cannot be allowed to continue, and it will not be allowed to continue. Our national security mission is equally as important. Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here or abroad will face the full wrath of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And if you seek to hide in any corner of this country or any corner of this planet, we will put on the world's largest manhunt, and we will find you, and we will decide your end state, not you. We will uphold the Constitution. We will uphold ourselves to the Constitution. The men and women at the FBI, I have your back because you have the backs of the American people. You will be held to the same high standard. Any deviation from that standard will not be tolerated at this Federal Bureau of Investigation. The men and women at the FBI who make us safe deserve better, and they are going to get it with our leadership and your support. God bless America, and God bless every one of you. I love this country.
Oh, yes, we did it. The heat is on. The heat is on. It's party time.
Everyone go to the Waldorf.
Party at the Waldorf. All right. Well, there you go. I don't think there's anything else to say about that. We're just going to shake a few hands, wave. There you go. All right. Let's go. We're good to go, guys. We're good to go. All right. Dude, how about that? Short and sweet, but man, what a fight. We were there for the whole run, and we got all of our people in. And man, now, man, we're getting ready to watch history be made, and we're watching the bad guys squirm and cry and make excuses and try to mind control people. And you know, the more they try now, the harder they're going to fail. Like I said, they're losing their power because the consent is being removed from them. That's a trick to it, right? More and more people are seeing results. More and more people are sick of the lies, or sick of the nothing happening, and through their own collapse of in disbelief. Some of them are even coming to clarity with this as well. But they are certainly losing faith in the corrupt establishment, and that is why you're seeing these massive inroads being made. That and the grace of God to give us the time, help us survive a very dark time in American history. That was the last 4 years, and how that last 4 years came about. But we survived it, and we came out of it stronger. And again, that comes down to faith. No matter what happened in 2020, we're better for it today. And even though it's kind of hard, it would be hard to imagine that at the time, but we actually are. So yes, stronger, rising from the ashes. Team Phoenix here is getting ready to light it up. All right. Let's figure this part out. Where are we at? 140, and what's the time is 9:30. Okay, let's figure this out now. I feel like the White House press conference, right, just happened, and that was a day ago. Okay, and it's loading very slowly, so that's okay. It could take its time if it wants to. It can leave everything behind. There we go. It's going nice and slow. Not a big hurry, but we may end up like, I don't know, kind of getting through this one and getting on to what Trump said today. Okay, enough of this. I have to refresh now. All right. Okay. So, I mean, we may get through opening statements and a couple questions here. There's some people that speak up front. I think it seems important. Wow, they speak for the entire time, don't they? I guess we're taking questions. All right. So let's see how this goes. And we may or may not do the full 46 minutes of it. I don't think we will do the full 46 minutes. I think we'll just take highlights out of this. I wonder if sometimes Forbes has highlights. Let me see from there that kind of help us speed things up, and then focus more on what Trump had to say. I think that's more of the interest here. Stimulus checks, no, it's called dividends checks, not stimulus checks. See Forbes. I don't know why Forbes has their shit together when it comes to clipping, but they do. All right, here we go. Let's do this. They hired the right people, I guess. Let's see videos. And let me just go back about a day and see if I can get some highlights from this. They got some I like hitting. I'd rather hit the highlights on this one and be a little bit more in depth with the Trump speech. 10 hours. Oh, we got some stuff here going on with some weirdo in Georgia. State Rep Saria Draper holds press briefings decrying Doge's CDC cuts in Atlanta, Georgia. Go screw yourself. Go screw yourself. We'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you. if I could, I'd go do it myself. I'd run myself. But that ain't in the cards for me. Let's see. Okay, no, they don't have any highlights from that press conference. All right, so we're gonna take it. We're just gonna take it as it is, and let's just make sure we're all on the winning speed. Yes. All right, and I'll bring it on up, and we'll get on into it, and we'll stop it as we need to, and we'll make decisions as we go along. That's what we do here. Hope you guys are having a great evening. Thank you so much for being here for Winning Tonight Friday edition. The Friday edition. Dun dun dun. We just had a great time watching two people who are going to do great things for our country get sworn in. And then now it's just, we did it. We crossed this next milestone. And from here on out, it's just watching the results roll in and talking about them, right? And seeing the opposition and seeing how the corrupt establishment slithers and slimes its way around trying to obstruct, and what kind of weird kind of psychological warfare they'll play on their useful idiots. We'll be here to report it all and talk about it. But I think, right now, man, do you feel the momentum? Do you feel the tipping point? Do you feel the surge of energy going on behind the good side right now? It's happening, and things are just get better and better and better and better and better. And everybody here, all of us, are going to have better luck and better experiences in our life and better prosperity in our life. And all of our hard work and our determination and our loyalty to the cause will come back around in the form of outstanding results. So everybody, give yourself a hand. I'm applauding you. I'm applauding you guys out there for making this happen, because it took all of us together, our energy, our collective energy, and will, and our consent to a better way of life to make this happen. It took all of our free will together to do this. So thank you for being part of it. Thank you for helping me and everybody here win reality. We're going to be winning it, and we're going to be winning for a long time. We got to fight. I told this story a few times, but besides for the obvious reasons, the name Winning Reality, if you're clever, you can figure it out. But the other part of that thing is, hold on a second. Is that I realized a long time ago, in a weird way, every day is a fight for reality, right? Every day is a fight for reality, every day in every way. And I think I probably wrote a song about it, though. I don't know where I wrote it. I can't find it. But if I ever find it, I'll put it out. I'll put it out there. That was one of the lyrics in the song. I know that much. And so, I was like, if every day is a fight for reality, we want to be winning reality every day, right? So, nothing is just as simple as I came up with a thing and this is it. Everything has multiple layers and multiple explanations and multiple reasons how I come to what I come up with, right? There's always layers deep, symbolism and meaning and all kinds of how I got from there to here and everything that I do. I'm not a very simple person and say I came up with a name and that's it. No, I had to have many, many, many different ways to get to that name, and what it has to make sense in a lot of different ways. So anyways, yes, we are now making lemonade out of lemons. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Lemon heads. So anyways, that's the deal with winning reality. Now that we're winning it, we have to keep winning it. We can never let them take it from us. We can't ever start losing to this. There's a-holes, there's corrupt people who hate us. The people who want to destroy our future, we can never lose to them. And that's what the fight's about. And the people who quit and be like, I'm mercenary, I just give up. I want everything to collapse, or I can't do nothing about it. So I'm just going to be an asshole in a corner over here with a bunch of other assholes, and those people, those are the people that are losing their reality. Really, they're really losing it. They don't care. They don't help, and they won't benefit from it either. They may see some superficial benefits from efforts of people like us, but they won't have the deep beneficial rewards for people that fight the good fight every day and don't just put it on other people to do it, and people who do will be elevated, and people who don't, and people who latch on, kind of like that red hen and the bread story, those people will be, well, why aren't things going so good for me? Well, maybe because you didn't really put your you're considering your free will behind the good cause. Maybe in a way you're still really behind the bad cause. You know, maybe you haven't fully gotten it. People think it's all that. It's ridiculous. I can just go, you know, get drunk and get high and just fuck off and you know, sit around in little narcissistic circles, places, and try to hurt people in different ways and try to destroy their goodwill and good energy, you know, because I'm sympathetic. That's the way I think of things. Those are those people, right? That's their mindset. That's the loser mindset. And that's why you just don't see people like that here, right? And that they're watching from afar and they're, you know, they're crying to themselves because they honestly have a hard time even looking at the mirror themselves. They know day in and day out they're losing reality. They know they are. And that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. Because, you know, all it takes is a change of heart, change of mind, change of spirit, and you can be winning reality too. But everybody here gets that because everybody here is part of it. All right, let's get this thing going before I start singing a damn song or something. All right, here we go. Press conference. Take it away, awesome. Let's go.
That reached up to 60 million viewers and listeners across the country. That reached up to 60 million viewers and listeners. In our ongoing pursuit of transparency on this 1 month celebration, I am thrilled to bring 3 of my colleagues and our policy experts here at the White House to further recap this incredible first month of accomplishments in greater detail.
Oh, this could be
We have
good.
Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the Director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, and our National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. I will hand it over to them. They will deliver brief remarks on the accomplishments of this administration in the first month, and then we will open it up to Q&A. When we open up the Q&A portion, I do ask for the sake of efficiency in this room that you direct your question to the principal you seek an answer from, and I will call on you in this room. But first, I will let them roll through their remarks. And first up, I'll turn it over to Stephen Miller.
Thank you. It's great to be back. And I want to just thank you all for joining today, our 1 month celebration of the most historic opening to a presidency in American history. No president comes close to what Donald Trump has achieved over just the last 30 days. He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation, restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country has ever seen anything like it. And when you look at the consequentiality and the significance and the transformative nature of the actions he's taken, it truly defies description. For example, in just one area, this nation has been plagued and crippled by illegal discrimination, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. It's strangled our economy. It has undermined public safety. It has made every aspect of life more difficult, more painful, and less safe. He has ended all DEI across the federal government. He has terminated all federal workers involved in promulgating these unlawful policies. He has ended diversity, equity, and inclusion in all federal contracting. He has restored merit as the cornerstone of all federal policy, restored the full, fair, impartial enforcement of our federal civil rights laws for the first time in generations. And he has cracked down on individuals across this government and nonprofits who have engaged in illegal racial discrimination against the American people. This includes making clear to every educational institution in this country that ending diversity, equity, and inclusion, ending unlawful race discrimination is a precondition of receiving federal funds. He has also saved women's sports by ending the participation of men in women's sports. He has ended radical gender ideology across the entire federal government, and he's pressured the private sector to also end and combat radical gender ideology. He's reestablished the scientific and biological truth that there are only 2 sexes in this country, male and female, that those are biologically based determinations. They are not based, they can never be based on gender identity. That includes rooting out of the Department of Defense all DEI policies, all critical race theory, all gender madness. And once again, having a military that is focused solely and exclusively on readiness, preparedness, and lethality. As I'm sure Kevin will talk about more, of course, he has undertaken a historic cost-cutting effort across the federal government, launching the first ever Department of Government Efficiency, uncovering corruption on a scale that we never thought imaginable, terminating every single federal worker that we have found to be engaged in the corruption and theft and the waste of taxpayer dollars, and already saving $50 billion in a single year, which over a 10-year period would be $500 billion. Just think about how vast and enormous that sum is. Of course, as you all know, he has renamed the Gulf of Mexico to its correct and proper name, the Gulf of America. He has renamed Mount Denali into Mount McKinley, part of a historic effort to restore patriotism and national pride all across this land. He has ended the weaponization of the federal government, restored the Department of Justice to its true mission of combating threats to this nation and keeping the American people safe. He has ended all federal censorship of free speech. This has been one of the greatest crises that has plagued this nation. Years and years and years of the federal government violating the First Amendment to take away Americans' right of free speech. President Trump has ended that, and he has demanded that all federal workers, all law enforcement cease any effort to intimidate the rights of Americans or to police their speech. He has also restored the death penalty at the Department of Justice, including for illegal aliens who commit murder, including for those who murder cops, and including for all of those who threaten Americans with heinous acts of violence. The death penalty is back. Law and order is back. The streets are being made safe once again. On the public health front, he has launched the nation's first ever commission, the MAHA Commission, Make America Healthy Again, following the historic confirmation of RFK Jr., to finally uncover the true root causes of the public health crisis in this country, the childhood disease epidemic in this country, the spiraling rates of pediatric cancer, and devastating childhood sickness. He has finally created a situation where the federal health agencies in this country will be focused on preventing disease, on keeping children from getting sick in the first place, not sending them to a lifetime in and out of hospitals, suffering needlessly, when we can find ways to prevent this epidemic of illness. Then, of course, on Homeland Security. Today, it is officially the law of the land at the conclusion of the congressional notification process that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13, so 8 organizations in total, are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be treated as terrorists. This is a sea change in U.S. policy, and this means the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, along with the rest of U.S. law enforcement and the Department of Defense, are now operating in a legal reality where these cartels are recognized as terrorists. And there will be a whole of government effort to remove these terrorists from our soil and to degrade their ability to threaten or undermine any American security or sovereignty interests. Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%. And those few who have dared to cross are being either prosecuted or deported. They're either facing significant jail time for trafficking, smuggling, harboring, aiding, impeding, or they're being immediately removed from our soil. Either way, at the end of the process, they are going home. He's re-implemented Remain in Mexico, and he has obtained historic cooperation from foreign countries all around the world in accepting their deportees back. And he has used the United States military to fully seal the southern border with a historic deployment of both active duty and National Guard troops, resumed the building of infrastructure. He has opened up Guantanamo Bay, and he's using military aircraft to carry out deportations all across this country. And ICE is joining with ATF, DEA, and FBI to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. The criminals are going home. The border is sealed shut. America is safe, sovereign, proud, and free. We are a nation that everyone in the world understands all across this planet. You do not come here illegally. You will not get in. You will go to jail. You will go home. You will not succeed. This is the biggest and most successful change in any area of law enforcement that this nation has ever seen, and he did it in under 1 month. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Stephen. One of the things that President Trump cares most about is job creation. And it was about 7 years ago, I had the honor of joining you in this room for the first time. And it looks like we've created a lot more jobs in the last month. Look at how many people are here. My estimate is about 180, but I didn't count. So thank you. It's really an honor to be back here. I think that I just want to go over a few things and then hand it off to Mike. The first thing is that the president has told us to prioritize fighting inflation. And he had to do that because, as you know, President Biden let inflation get completely out of control. And he did it with policies that made no sense. They made no sense. A lot of times people say to us, our friends, the journalists, why are you doing that? But I like to think, why did they do that? Why did they spend so much money? And then why did the Fed print so much money so that we had inflation as high as we've ever seen since Jimmy Carter? So why did they do that? So we're addressing inflation. We didn't have to address it in the first term because it was always in the ones, almost always. But we're going to get it back there. And how are we doing it? Well, we're doing it with a plan that President Trump and I and others have talked about in the Oval that involves like every level of fighting inflation. First, the macroeconomic level. We're cutting spending. We're cutting spending in negotiations with people on the Hill. We're cutting spending with the advice of our IT consultant, Elon Musk. And then we're also looking into supply side things, like restoring Trump's tax cuts, maybe even expensing new factories so that there's an explosion of supply. If you have an explosion of supply and a reduction in government demand, then inflation goes way down. And then one of the things that you want to say is, well, when are you going to see it? Well, the first thing that you'll see when the markets believe that we're going to get inflation under control is that the 10-year Treasury rate goes down, because that's how they think about future expected inflation. And so we're still going to see some memory of Biden's inflation. It's not going to go away in a month. But the 10-year Treasury before the last consumer price index had dropped about 40 basis points. 40 basis points because markets were optimistic about our ability to fight inflation. 40 basis points is kind of not a fun thing to say. Economists talk that way. I apologize. But the way to think about it is, for a typical mortgage, if that affects the mortgage rate, then it's going to save a typical family buying a house about $1,000 a year. And that's just in our first month. Okay. The second thing we've done is we've had a lot of trade talks. In fact, I was just meeting a minister from Mexico with Howard Lutnick just a couple of hours ago. And we're talking about reciprocal trade, and we're also talking about the fentanyl crisis. And so reciprocal trade is about our government treating other governments the way they treat us. We want trade to be fair. It turns out that Americans have been disadvantaged by foreign governments over and over, and President Trump wants it to stop. And the fact that struck me as most noticeable when I started to look at what President Trump was asking us to do is that last year we have data, U.S. companies paid $370 billion in taxes to foreign governments. $370 billion. Last year, foreign multinationals paid us $57 billion in taxes. We have 1/4 of world GDP. They have 3/4 of world GDP, and we're paying 370. They're paying 57. This is not reciprocal. We're going to try, or we're going to fix it. The other thing that we've done is we've had an all-of-the-above energy approach that's led by Doug Burgum and Chris and a really large team, EPA. And we've already made so many actions that are going to affect the price of energy and lower inflation. We've opened up 625 million acres to energy exploration. We've cut 50 years of red tape that makes it so you can't have permits. And we've even made it so that when you go home, if you get a new one, then you can take a shower or flush a toilet or read under a light bulb. We're doing that too. So finally, let's just think about like the facts that we can see right now that we think are awesome. So guess what? Small business optimism has gone up by the most ever since President Trump came in. ISM, which is the measure of what's going on in manufacturing, it's expanding again for the first time in years. CEO confidence is the highest it's been in years. And the reason people are thinking this is that our policies give people cause for optimism. And then I want to reiterate what Stephen Miller said, because it's so important, and it's so important for financial markets to start to digest this, that if, say, the Treasury Secretary or any cabinet secretary with Elon Musk is able to find some savings, say $100 billion, well, in CBO land, that's actually like about 10 times that, or maybe 12 times that over a 10-year window. And so when you're thinking about the negotiations right now over reconciliation and thinking about, well, 4 trillion, 5 trillion, well, those numbers in terms of the savings are going to end up being small because of all the waste that we're finding. And so we're incredibly optimistic about the future of inflation and the future of our economy. And we're optimistic because we're making so much progress so far, and we already see it in market prices. And with that, I'll hand it off to Mike.
All right. Thanks, Gil. Well, good afternoon. What a month, and what a sea change in our foreign policy. In addition to what we're doing on the border and restoring American sovereignty, in addition to what we're doing in our economy and the job creation and the inflation reduction, we are bringing the world back to where it was at the end of President Trump's first term, which is a world of peace, prosperity, and looking forward and getting us out of the chaos that we've just seen over the last 4 years. So over the last month, just to name a few, I had the honor of sitting in the Oval Office as President Trump spoke with President Putin, and then immediately spoke with President Zelensky. And both of them said only President Trump could bring both sides to the table, and only President Trump could stop the horrific fighting that has been going on now for the better part of 4 years, and that only President Trump could drive the world back to peace. Both of those leaders said that in back-to-back calls. And of course, we just had our historic talks mediated by our good friends and partners, Saudi Arabia. We give great thanks to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for hosting, and sat down for the first time in years with the Russians and talked about a path forward with peace. On top of that, and one of the things that led to that was the tremendous confidence building measure that we had with the release of Mark Fogel. I'll remind everyone, the last time that we had an American released from the Russians, either we gave up a deadly spy, pressured our allies to give up a lethal killer, or we released under the Biden administration the world's most notorious arms dealer, Victor Bout, who, by the way, had one of his main clients for arms, the cartels in Mexico and Central America. We gave up none of that. This was released as a confidence building measure, working with our great Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, and our Secretary of State as a first step towards opening these talks and then moving forward towards peace. On top of that, we've secured just in a month the return of 12 American hostages from Russia, from Bulgaria, from Venezuela, the Taliban, and Hamas. Excuse me, that's from Belarus, not Bulgaria. We also had, for the first time in quite some time, we took out a senior leader of ISIS, an international financier and recruiter that the military had been trying to take out for quite some time, and wasn't able to do so, frankly, because of a bureaucratic approval process. President Trump said, take him out, and that ISIS financier and leader is no longer on this earth. We've also taken action to eliminate other terrorist organizations in the Middle East. We drove, before the president was even in office, he started talking consequences for people that would hold Americans. Heretofore, there's been nothing but upside. You take an American, you get some better deal. You take another one, maybe you get a better deal. No more. There's now nothing but downside for taking Americans illegally, either as hostages or illegal detainees. And when President Trump sent a very clear message across the Middle East, but particularly to Hamas, that there would be all hell to pay, we suddenly saw a breakthrough. And now we just saw the release of yet another group of hostages. There have been dozens now, including 2 Americans that we've seen once again reunited with their families. As part of the talks with King Abdullah, he offered, and I think the entire world is graciously accepted, to take 2,000 sick children, cancer patients, and others out of Gaza as a humanitarian gesture. 2,000 Gazans will come out of that hellhole that it is, that wasteland that Gaza is right now, with unexploded ordnance, with debris everywhere, with no sewage, with no water. And President Trump has put forward a plan to deal with the practical reality that is 1.8 million Gazans now truly suffering. And then, just to bring it back to our own hemisphere, we've seen literally in the last month, after years of national security experts, the generals in charge, and others testifying and ringing the alarm bells about the Chinese Communist Party's presence in our own hemisphere, particularly in the Panama Canal. We're seeing the leadership of Panama step away from the Belt and Road program, move away from China and back towards the United States, and even enter into talks and other negotiations about addressing the ports on either side of the canal. And then finally, last but not least, we've had 4 world leaders in the White House, in the Oval Office. We've had the Prime Minister of Japan, the Prime Minister of India, the King of Jordan, and of course, the Prime Minister of Israel, just in the last 4 weeks. And next week, we'll have the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and we'll have the President of France, Macron. So President Trump is on what we call Trump warp speed. We are all honored to be really serving under his leadership and his vision. And truly, when we all say, and the president himself says he is a president of peace, he is a president focused on restoring stability. I think the entire world saw what the world will look like without strong American leadership in the last 4 years. And it's truly been an honor to get us back to where we were and back on track under President Trump's leadership.
Nice.
Thank you, Mike.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm sure you're very eager to ask
All right.
questions of these very smart people working very hard on behalf of the president. We do have somebody in our new media seat today. We have John Stoll, who is the head of news at X. As you all know, you're all on X. It's home to hundreds of millions of users, a large contingent of independent journalists and news organizations across geographies and political spectrums. And at the same time, X remains the go-to platform for many legacy news outlets. And I know, as I mentioned, many of the reporters in this room use X to attract eyeballs to your work. Prior to joining X, John spent 2 decades in journalism, including several years as an editor at the Wall Street Journal. We are excited to have him in the briefing room today. John, we'll let you kick it off. And as I said at the top, please direct your question to the individual up here who you'd like an answer from. John, why don't you begin?
All right, thank you.
Real quick, before we get going on that, we'll see how long we last with the questions. I also like to point out that Gary, our very own good friend from Next News Network, Gary Franchi, was there as well. And if you follow his channel, you've seen his shorts, and he actually got to meet Carolina and the gang there today. But he's been part of it. He got his press pass, so he's actually in the room. Maybe he'll get to ask a question. That'd be pretty exciting to hear. Gary Franchi, and I hope he asks a great question. Maybe ask a question in this. We'll see. And then I got to do this real quick too. This because this is always exciting. We got to do it twice tonight. I like to do this a lot of times every night. It'd be awesome. Ronnie, welcome back to the Winner Circle here on the YouTube side. Ronnie Jam was also joined us over on the Rumble side, and as a celebration, you will see that both of your names are on here from the Rumble side and the YouTube side. They're on this ever-growing, awesome list. Thank you so much for being part of the solution on both YouTube and Rumble. Yeah, we'll let it just keep on scrolling there. All right. So thank you. It means so much. And remember, you can be part of it too if you like. But another way you can just help out is by is giving us the based up, the winner's thumb. Call it the winner's thumb. And if you want to, and if you're not a winner and you want to be a loser, you hit the loser's thumb. It's all right. As long as you interact with the stream, you're supporting it. So thank you. All right. So again, we'll see how these questions come out, and we'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear.
Thank you very much. I am sitting in for a thriving ecosystem of journalists, independent and emerging news organizations who do depend on X for publicity, for a business model. And so I look forward to seeing many of them in this seat in months and years to come. I also thank you, Caroline, for opening this seat up to new media. It really is a testament not only to your open-mindedness, but also to innovation, that you'd actually think about, folks that are not traditionally credentialed to be in this room, and not only have a question, but also to witness. This is a very important intersection.
Nice introduction there
of power and the free press. And so just the ability to witness this and be part of it, brings everybody's game up. So thank you for that. I think this is for Mike Waltz. My question is about Ukraine.
Sure.
For about more than 10 years, I've been fascinated, like many, with what's going on. Was in Northern Europe, working out of the Baltics when Crimea was annexed, and was a lot of this came on Twitter. The platform used to be known as Twitter.
All right. Well, hey, first tip, just get to the question. There you go.
Was a lot of European leaders would talk about their disappointment and solidarity.
It feels like he thinks he's at the
but when it came to actually doing something, it felt like they were passing a hot potato and sent it over the Atlantic.
And do you have a question, sir?
I wonder how much of what we're seeing right now out of the administration of President Trump is a call to Europe and the European leaders and the allies that we've traditionally had to pick up that hot potato and start doing something a little bit more concrete to win and preserve the peace in Ukraine. The second question I have is, it's related, is there's been a lot of speculation that President Trump and the administration might be manipulated by Vladimir Putin. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about the administration's posture and your confidence in the competence of this administration to go toe-to-toe with Vladimir Putin.
Well, I'll take the second question first. If there's anybody in this world that can go toe-to-toe with Putin, that could go toe-to-toe with Xi, that could go toe-to-toe with Kim Jong-un, and we could keep going down the list, it's Donald J. Trump. He is the deal maker in chief. There is no question that he is the commander in chief.
Hey, some prepper, what's up? That's the guy from X.
And I think all Americans and around the world should have no doubt about his ability to not only handle Putin, but to handle the complexity of driving this war to an end. And then on your first piece on Europe, I'll take you back to 2014. You're right. There was a lot of hand-wringing in Europe and not a lot of action. There's also a lot of hand-wringing here in Washington under the Obama administration and not a lot of action. They literally threw blankets at the problem. And so I'll remind everyone that
not
Putin
good blankets either.
had some type of conflict, invasion, or issue with their neighbor under President Bush with Georgia, under President Obama with Ukraine 2014, not under President Trump 45, and again with President Biden in 2022. The war should have been deterred. The war should have never happened. And I have no doubt it would not have happened under President Trump and will stop under President Trump again. But I just want to push back on this notion of our European allies not being consulted as we've entered into this process. I already mentioned the immediate phone call President Trump made to President Zelensky. He has talked to President Macron of France repeatedly last week. President Macron convened European leaders and then is coming here on Monday. Prime Minister Starmer is coming next Thursday. I've talked to every one of my national security advisor counterparts across the spectrum in Europe. I've talked to Secretary General Rutte, the leader of NATO, the Secretary General of NATO. We have repeatedly, oh, by the way, we had half our cabinet, 7 cabinet officials, including the vice president, at the Munich Security Conference, all engaging, all listening, and all making sure our allies are heard. However, we've also made it clear for years, decades even, that it is unacceptable that the United States and the United States taxpayer continues to bear the burden, not only of the cost of the war in Ukraine, but of the defense of Europe. We fully support our NATO allies. We fully support the Article 5 commitment, but it's time for our European allies to step up. And one of the things that Secretary General Rutte said on our call was this last couple of weeks have been a real wake-up call. And I asked him, what have you been missing the last couple of years? The fact that we are going to enter into a NATO summit this June with a third of our NATO allies still not meeting the 2% minimum, a commitment they made a decade ago, literally a decade ago, with a war on their doorstep, the largest war that they're all extremely concerned about, but yet it's, well, somebody else needs to pay. We've got other domestic priorities. It's unacceptable. President Trump's made that clear. And the minimum needs to be met. We need to be at 100% in this June at the NATO summit. And then let's talk about exceeding it, which is what President Trump has been talking about with 5% of GDP. Europe needs to step up for their own defense as a partner, and we can be friends and allies and have those tough conversations.
Great. Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. I have a Ukraine one and a Doge one. Who can talk Doge?
Talk some Doge. Let's go.
Well, so Stephen, we're hearing
Steve
about
Miller.
these Doge dividend checks that would be 20% back to taxpayers, 20% to pay down the debt. 60% is left. Who gets that?
Well, the way that it works is when you achieve savings, you can either return it to taxpayers, you can return it to our debtors, or it can be cycled into next year's budget, and then it just lowers the overall baseline for next year. So in other words, you can just transfer into the next fiscal window and then lower the overall spending level. And that means that you can achieve a permanent savings that way, and that reduces the deficit.
And when is it that people might see those checks?
Well, this is all going to be worked on through the reconciliation process with Congress that's going underway right now. As you've seen, the Senate's moving a bill, the House is moving a bill. The president has great confidence in both chambers to deliver on his priorities. I would just take this opportunity to note that President Trump has made a historic commitment to the working class of this country to fight for major tax relief and major price relief. And cutting spending, as Doge is doing, and cutting taxes is the key to delivering on both of those promises. And President Trump is resolutely committed to doing both.
Thank you. And on Ukraine, I guess this is for Mike.
Sure.
After the president's post on Truth Social yesterday, need to know, who does he think is more responsible for the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Putin or Zelensky?
Well, look, his goal, Peter, is to bring this war to an end, period. And there has been ongoing fighting on both sides. It is World War I style trench warfare. His frustration with President Zelensky is that you've heard is multifold. One, there needs to be a deep appreciation for what the American people, what the American taxpayer, what President Trump did in his first term, and what we've done since. So some of the rhetoric coming out of Kyiv, frankly, and insults to President Trump were unacceptable. Number one. Number two, our own Secretary of Treasury personally made the trip to offer the Ukrainians what can only be described as a historic opportunity. That is for America to co-invest with Ukraine in their minerals, in their resources, to truly grow the pie. So case in point, there's a foundry that processes aluminum in Ukraine. It's been damaged. It's not at its current capacity. If that is restored, it would account for America's entire imports of aluminum for an entire year. That one foundry. There are tremendous resources there. Not only is that long-term security for Ukraine, not only do we help them grow the pie with investments, but we do have an obligation to the American taxpayer.
Ask for that.
Is the president watching for the goals or for the fights?
Okay, so the rest of that's out there. I want to get off to for time's sake, I want to get over to our next presser. But yeah, that's out there. If you guys want to go check it out, you can see the rest of that. But I think the intros were the key part there, right? Listen to what they had to say, given their monthly report, where we are at today. Freaking awesome, kicking ass, taking names. You got to love it. You got to love it. So now we're going to go over to what President Trump, right? We're going to go over here where he's going to really fill us in on a lot more details. This was just from today. That was from yesterday. And I want to make sure that we have time to get through this one. And as long as it doesn't get ridiculous, we'll, you never know.
It's just so terrible.
But it's really more important what they say up front, I think. And then, you say, hopefully you get some good questions, right? But a lot of times it's who does he think started the war? I mean, come on, stop. We all know the answer to that is that he wants to end the war. Hey, Ellie, how you doing? We all know he wants to end the war It's a ridiculous war. It never would have started if he was in office. We know the whole thing, right? So, you know, ask good questions when you go there, guys. Ask good questions, man. And if you ask a bad question, I hope you get completely reamed for it. All right. So here's the next one. And this is the president's remarks at the governor's working session. Awesome stuff here coming up. Let's get on into it.
It's just so terrible. I see pictures that you fortunately don't get to see. You don't want to see them. And that is a killing field. You have young soldiers being killed, thousands a week, and we got to get it over with. It's bad for Russia, and it's bad for Ukraine, and it's bad for us on a humanitarian basis. I've had very good talks with Putin, and I've had not such good talks with Ukraine. They don't have any cards, but they play it tough. But we're not going to let this continue. This war is terrible. It would have never happened if I were president, but it did happen. So I got stuck with it, and the whole world is stuck with it. And right now you have a country that has its cities. They look like demolition sites. Those beautiful towers, those 1,000-year-old golden domes that were so beautiful, the most beautiful in the world, they say. They're all in smithereens. Millions of people are killed. I think far more people than anyone understands. And we have people that better get to the table, get it ended. Should have never happened. It would have never happened. But I'm delighted to welcome America's governors to the White House. You're amazing people. Even the Democrats are amazing people, some of you. And we've worked together. Actually, we work very well together. I can't think of anybody. There's one or two, yeah, that it doesn't work out so well, but that's sort of normal. But I do want to welcome you, and I want to let you know that anything I can do, I'm here. I'm here for you, and we can do a lot. I do want to say that I left a great place, North Carolina, and we're really working hard there since I've been in. For 4 weeks, we've done more than they've did in all of the period of time. And FEMA was a disaster. FEMA wasn't there. They didn't do the job. And it was a terrible, terrible situation. I've never seen anything like it. And then they actually, when they did get there, a very small group, they chose anybody with an American flag or the name Trump on the front of the house. They would sort of skip that house very nicely. And it was just a disaster. And we've done it the other way. And we're working with a very nice person that we've had good relationships. The newly elected Democrat governor, who's here, I assume, is he? Okay, thank you very much. We're working well together, very well together. And we're not using FEMA so much, but it doesn't matter as long as we get the job done. But the people are becoming very happy. So I want to thank you very much. Great job. But we are, and I'm of the opinion, I understand FEMA very well. We had a good situation with FEMA, but it was a very expensive thing to do. And I really believe when there's a natural disaster, a hurricane, a tornado, or whatever it may be, you're very capable people. It's called, you fix it. You take care of it yourselves. You don't have to call some faraway state and have people planed in from areas that they have no idea. They come in from Alaska to help you in Florida. They say, well, this is hot here. This is, by the time they figure it out, everything would have been fixed. It's not a good situation. It's very expensive. You spend at least twice as much. They don't negotiate. They go out and hire local contractors and they have no idea who they are. And I'd rather have my governor from South Carolina, Henry. I'd rather have Ron. I'd rather have from Florida. I'd rather have, I can name just about everybody in this room. I'd rather have you do it. You'll save a lot of money. And we'll send the bills. We'll pay, I think, far less. We have to have you have a little bit of skin in the game. Otherwise, those bills will be much higher than they're supposed to be, especially with a couple of you in this room who will get bills that you wouldn't believe, record setters. But so I think 75, 25 with the government, the federal government paying 75. And we'll go right through to probably either go through Commerce, maybe go through Marco, because Marco's very good.
Is that speed working for everybody, or is that a little too fast? Just let me know in the chat.
With money. I don't think I'm going to give them to the environmental gentleman, Lee Zeldin, here, because Lee's going to say, what's this all about? Huh? They gave me this too. You have found some big stuff, by the way, some big fraud. You have, as he said, this one's not even explainable. We're talking about billions of dollars. So great job, Lee. Really, it's sad, but it's a great job you've done in a very short period of time. But I think Marco or Scott or Howard, and if whoever Howard may be, we want to congratulate him. He did great. It was a great session. He got no Democrat votes. I thought he's been a Democrat all his life and he got no Democrat votes. They all called him to apologize. And, honestly, that shouldn't be, but he got approved yesterday. But today I'm delighted to welcome America's governors to the White House. And I've known many of you for a long, long time. And this week we're forging even stronger bonds of cooperation to better serve the American people. I also want to thank the members of my cabinet who have joined us for this meeting. And they have gone right off the bat. And I also want to thank Senator Thune, because I'm hearing we set a record on approvals. And I was screaming, I thought it was going so slowly. I think we have a record. So I apologize to anybody I screamed at. But no, it was announced this morning. I think we had a record for the number of positions, so that's great. And they're great people. So I'll begin by introducing Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He scares me because he got 99 votes. So that's either unbelievably good because he's an incredible diplomat and therefore he's Secretary of State and you couldn't have picked it, or I'm a little nervous about you, Mark. And the only vote he didn't get was our Vice President, who couldn't vote because he had just left. So you got 100%. But it really says something. I think it says working together. It's an amazing tribute, I think. I'll let you know about it. I'll let you know about it in about 2 years, everybody. Mark has been great, and he's been in some big meetings with people at the highest level of states that we would say, states meaning other countries that we would have said wouldn't have dealt so well, but they're dealing very well. You have a great group of people with Steve Witkoff and Michael Waltz, and we're making amazing progress. I mean, we've made more progress on that situation, which is Ukraine, and then they have in 3 years, again, so sad that it began, but we're also working very hard in the Middle East. Another one that wouldn't have happened, we would never have had, you wouldn't have had October 7th. They had no money, Iran was broke. We had sanctions up on Iran that nobody's ever seen before. They were literally broke, and they were not giving any money to Hezbollah, to Hamas. And how about Hamas yesterday with the babies? How about that? We're going to take that. We're going to continue to take that? I don't think so. But I want to just thank you, Marco, for doing a great job. And Scott, you also. Scott went all the way to Ukraine. I said, don't do it. That's why they have telephones. But it's always better to meet in person. But I just didn't feel that it was good. And it was dangerous. You saw things on that train ride that you didn't like, I understand. It's a pretty dangerous ride. The long ride, how long was that? 10-hour ride. It's after you get there. And a very dangerous journey, but he wanted to do it. He's a patriot. He wanted to do it. It's better to do it than it is with a telephone. Always better. I would say much better to meet in person, but that was dangerous. I like him. Therefore, I didn't want him to do it. If I didn't like him, I would have suggested he do it. In fact, I'd say, go back today and let's give it another shot. But I hear that they're going to agree pretty much with what, but that's not the big thing. The big thing is getting it done. And we'll get it done. Also, somebody who's been so popular right from the beginning, very, very little opposition. But she's fantastic. She was the Attorney General of Florida for 8 years, highly respected.
Pam Bondi.
And just an amazing person, amazing leader and woman. Pam Bondi. Good, Pam. How's it going? Good? You got enough work? You got a lot of work over there, I'll tell you. Man, she's going to be unbelievable. I don't even think about it. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. And Doug, I don't know if Doug's here, he was last night. Oh, good. You just disappear right into the woodwork. Huh? Doug is a man who made a lot of money, actually, but in technology, sold to Microsoft for a lot, and decided he wanted to do a Trump thing, and he did, and he won easily. And he became a great governor of North Dakota, and really good. And he was all of a sudden thrown into the oil business, right? And he took that to a level that nobody ever thought possible. The job you've done there has been amazing. And I watched he ran. Then I said, I like that guy. He was one of the few that didn't hit me. He was after my position, but he never said anything bad about me. I said, it's okay. That's one checklist that we have good. It's one of the ones. But he was an amazing governor, and he really became an expert on energy. And when I was with him, I realized I wanted him someplace. I didn't know exactly where, but I thought it would be the Department of Energy. I kept talking because the state has done so well. And I said, look, I want you to just hold it, and I want to put you there. I said, sir, I have somebody much better than me on energy. Who? Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is Chris Wright? He said, is Chris here? I don't even know. Is Chris here? Hello, Chris. Why am I giving him some buildups? I did the same thing last night, but he's the top guy in the whole, they say on the planet for energy, in all forms of energy, even clean, beautiful coal that we're going to be using like Germany does now. They're opening up a plant a week, and they're opening up in China more than somebody told me 2 plants a week, but we're supposed to use the wind, which doesn't work. Doesn't work from a practical standpoint. But I just want to welcome you because you had the greatest man. When he said, you're probably the only man, because I know Doug, he's got a big ego. And you're the only man I've actually heard him say something. He said, he's so much better than me on energy. He's better than anybody. And so we made a move, and you gave up a tremendous position to do this. And we want to thank you, but we have to get going because when we bring the energy costs down, we have more energy than anybody in the world. We just didn't use it. Can you imagine? Biden set us up in Venezuela instead of taking ours, so that we go to Venezuela where they'd have very heavy stuff. And we have the best stuff in the world. We have more liquid gold, and it's really great liquid gold too. We have more under our feet than anybody else. But we went to Venezuela to buy oil instead of taking it from our own land and, drilling a little hole in the ground. About how big is that hole? About a foot? About a foot, yeah. We drill a little tiny hole, And we could have taken it instead of all of the problems. And then we made Venezuela strong again. You know, they've given them a lot of money. They never thought they were going to have so much money, and all the people are leaving. So you're going to have one guy sitting there with a lot of oil under his feet. That's not a good situation. But we're having talks about that whole mess. What a mess it was! That was another one that was done. He was ready to quit. He was going to be out. Marco, you know that better than anybody. Marco's been very staunch against what took place there, and we were going to have that in any form we wanted it. But Biden made them strong. It was the worst administration in history. And I say that with a lot of Democrats, but I think you believe it too. You can't say it, but you believe it. But I just want to thank you. And if you get those prices down, you know, that's what caused inflation, the energy. I mean, the spending, but I think even more so the energy. The energy went up. They stopped the oil leases. They stopped a lot of things that we were doing. And then they went back to what we were doing as much as they could because the prices were going through the roof. Remember that initial surge? It was brutal. And they went back. They let any rig that we had up just drill. You know, and they ended up doing similar numbers, but we wouldn't have been at those numbers. We would have been double or triple those numbers. Those were from years ago. But energy caused our problem. But I just want to thank you for recommending him. And what we've done is he's the head of Department of Energy. He's Department of the Interior. And it's really screwy because the Department of the Interior has all the energy other than some nuclear energy that you're in charge of. But he has all the energy, has all the land, all the great places. Best. We have more than any other country in the world. And he's in charge of it. The problem is he can't drill. And he drills, but he has no land. So what do? We said, I have an idea. Let's merge them. So we merged them intellectually. I don't know if we did it legally, but we did it intellectually. So now he gives up the land and he gives up the drillers and you're going crazy, right? You're going wild and you'll do it beautifully, environmentally well, Lee. We'll make sure. But we have a lot of things, but we had a merge. I always wondered, why doesn't the energy department do more? They did do more because they don't have any energy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. We'll probably have to make maybe even a change in that, somehow merge them or do something because it's pretty tremendous what you're going to be able to do. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, who's so fantastic, and she's been at the head of so many different things and loyal from the beginning. She even opened up when we had a rather shocking defeat. She opened up we call it an institute. I've never seen anybody raise money like her. She raised hundreds of millions of dollars on this fabulous thing. But I said, look, we want to win another race because I think it's really important to win twice. And I won 3 times, if you think about it. So it's very, only the Republicans smile when I say it happens to be true. But Brooke has been amazing. And it was really tough because this last election, I go to a person and say, sir, I just gave you $10 million. Oh, where did you give it to? I gave it to Brooke. You gave it to Brooke. She's spending it on policy. We don't have to worry about policy. We have to worry about getting elected, right? But Brooke is fantastic, and she's done such a good job, and she's make America great again, at top of the line, right? And and what I didn't know, and as soon as I found out, I said, that's that. She studied. That's what she studied, agriculture. She knows everything about it, and she's going to be a fantastic secretary. And you'll do something with the eggs, because I'm hearing so much about eggs. You'll figure it out. You got to figure something out fast. But and we inherited all of the problems. At some point, a few months down the road, we won't be able to say it's so much us. But the big things, really, we can blame other people for, to allow criminals into our country at levels that nobody's ever seen before, to allow people from jails, to have countries from all over the world be allowed to empty jails into an open border. They empty jails and prisons, mental institutions, insane asylum, gang members, drug lords, drug people, people on drugs, people that are very sick. They allowed them to come into our country totally unchecked, unvetted. And right now we have a great gentleman, Tom Homan, who's doing an unbelievable job, and Kristi Noem. They're doing a great job, but it's something we should have never had to be done. And you see the levels of crime that these are serious. They make our criminals look nice, I'll tell you. That's the only thing we get out of it. Our criminals are very nice people by comparison. These are seriously tough people. The various gangs, whether it's MS-13 or the Venezuelan gangs, they're as tough as nobody's ever seen toughness like this. Secretary of Health and Human Services, nobody knows this particular gentleman. He sailed right through. I thought he'd get a lot of, I said, well, he's going to get a lot of Democrat votes, Ron. I said, he's going to be an easy one, right? I told Ron DeSantis, I said, this one's going to be so easy. He's going to get all those Democrat votes. I don't know. Thank goodness for the Republicans, right? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And where's Bobby? Where's Bobby? So congratulations. Was that as easy as you thought? Just quit. Well, in the end, they all voted for him. He did pretty well. You got through. But, we have one stat that I quote, the autism stat. And you hear different numbers, but it's thousands. They say between 10 and 20,000. So if you go back 15 years ago, we had like nobody. It was 1 in 20,000. Now we
Thumbs
have
up.
1 in 34. Is that right? 34.
up.
So 34 or 36 kids have autism. And if you go back, I guess 18 years, that whenever that was done, it was 1 in 20,000. So we got from 20,000 to 34, 36. That's unbelievable. So there's something wrong. There's something wrong. We've done something wrong. There's something, you're going to figure it out. Maybe it's a spray that we spray all over the place that nobody else does. Other countries don't. The Pennsylvania Dutch, they don't do anything, and they're amazingly healthy. And he understands. He's working with Dr. Oz, who's a really smart guy. I know him very well. And those two guys are going to figure out. They're also going to figure out why in the United States we pay $1,300 for a drug, one that we were talking about, and in London they pay literally they pay $200, even less. $88 I heard in one case yesterday. They pay $88, we pay $1,300 for the exact same drug from the exact same factory, from the same plant where it's made. We've got to figure that out. So I hope you focus really a lot on the cost too, because Americans are being screwed and it's no good. They're not going to put up with it. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, another one I know very well. He's going to be fantastic, Scott Turner. So Scott, congratulations.
Running down the dream
man,
team here.
You are something. He got up and we had a great meeting yesterday, right? He got up and spoke. He's a good speaker, that one. And everybody loves you. Everybody knows you. Great guy. You're going to do fantastic. Anyway, you got a good recommendation from Ben Carson. Once Ben Carson recommended you, I said, all right, that's okay. We love Ben Carson. Nobody like Ben. Secretary of Energy, I introduced Chris Wright, and Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. I know Doug so well. Oh, where's Doug? Where's Doug? That voice during the Mueller hearings, that beautiful voice. Do you know, remember the catastrophe that every Democrat remembers this when Mueller went to testify? This was not a good situation. That's where it all ended, Pam. When he didn't know anything about anything. And Doug said, you don't know what we're talking about, do you? No. This was not a good day for them, but it was a good day for justice, I can tell you that, for fair justice. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, he ran for governor of New York. In theory, you have no chance, but actually, he almost won. It was a fantastic run, amazing run. And he's very smart. He was a congressman. He was fantastic on the hoax, the various hoaxes I had. I had a lot of hoaxes, so many I don't want to name them all. We don't have enough time, but he was always very strong, great lawyer, tremendous lawyer. And also a big believer in the environment and keeping it good and clean and healthy. And I just want to thank you for the job. And the only thing I ask is that you go speedily, because, you know, a lot of people use the whole process, the environmental impact process, to delay projects. We just want them to go quickly. And you can get the same answer in a matter of months as opposed to a matter of years. I feel so strongly because people are coming in with tremendous amounts of money. I have been spoken to by yesterday I had Tim Cook in the office from Apple. He's investing hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't know. I hope he's announced it. Hope I didn't announce this, but what the hell? All I do is tell the truth. That's what he told me. Now he has to do it, right? So it's a good, but he's investing hundreds of billions of dollars, and others too. We're going to have a lot of chip makers coming in, a lot of automakers coming in. They stopped 2 plants in Mexico. They were under construction, started construction. They just stopped them. They're going to build here instead because they don't want to pay the tariffs. The tariffs are amazing. It's good. I got myself in a lot of trouble. I said it's my favorite word in the dictionary, the word tariff. It's such a beautiful word. And the fake news killed me. They said, what about love? What about God? What about family? And they said, I'm in trouble. I said, so now it's my 4th favorite word. I say, love, God, family. A couple of others I could add in there too, but it's my 4th favorite word. So.
Only the base people are allowed here.
OMB director, Russell Vogt. Thank you, Russell. You're going to be incredible. I know he took some hits. But I know how good he is, how honest he is, and he's fantastic with the numbers. And you're seeing these numbers coming out with the theft, right? And it's tremendous fraud, wasted abuse, and all 3 of them. But I think the fraud is really the biggest. I think you're going to see it. You come out as soon as you can, I think, with your numbers. But because they're not explainable. They're not explainable. So I just, Russell, do a great job. That's all.
Come on,
SBA administrator, small business. Now, small business is really big business. It's actually one of the biggest banks in the world. It sounds a little bit like, oh, small little business. It is it is one big sucker, right? And Kelly Loeffler's here, so she's going to be incredible. And she's got an incredible husband, Jeff, who's one of the most important people in the world of finance.
Not sure you can do that anytime you want.
He knows. He owns a thing called the New York Stock Exchange, so that's not so bad, right? And you have natural experience, but I think you're going to do great. And there's a lot of fraud in there from the past, with all the money that was handed out. It was, billions and billions of dollars. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Where's Tulsi? Is she here? Hi, Tulsi. I haven't really seen you. Good luck. Do well. Have fun. We built a building. The building cost like $12 billion. The building's loaded up with intelligence. Lots of luck for you to get out, right? Good. It was, she was treated pretty rough for a person that's an incredible patriot. We've all known that. So it's nice that you're sitting with Bobby, because you two, you went through a lot, but you know what? You're going to be stars. And over the past month, our new administration has taken unrelenting action to fix every single disaster that we inherited, and we inherited a lot of them. The border being, I think it's the most difficult one of all. The rest we can get fixed, including foreign countries that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And one of the reasons that we won the election by so much, because we won it in everywhere. We won the popular vote. We won the 7 swing states, all 7 by a lot. And we won by millions of votes to popular. It's always hard. I guess it hasn't happened in a couple of decades for a Republican to win the popular vote. I think that that's changing so rapidly. But we had another thing that was pretty amazing. We had, of the 3,000 counties, we won 2,500 of them. And the Democrats won 500. It's a lot. They've never seen anything like it. It would actually, you would have thought that the numbers would even be much higher. When you win 2,500 counties to 500 counties, when you look at the map, you've all seen the map, the one that got certified and came out just recently. It's like almost totally red. And it's my honor. We're going to just work it out. But we've really become the party of common sense. And I think it's important. I think it's important for the Democrats' common sense too. We're going to deal with you, and we're going to deal on a common sense basis. And I know a lot of you agree with a lot of the things. I don't know, sometimes you're not allowed to say it, unfortunately, but I think we'll be all better off if everybody says it. That includes Republicans saying the right things. So on day one, I declared a national emergency on our southern border to stop the invasion of our country, because we were being invaded. Millions and millions of people. I figure 21 million people, and of that, 2 or 3 million were criminals. And many of them were people that countries didn't want. They would put them in these massive, large caravans. I came up with that name a long time ago. That's what it is. It's a caravan. And these are people, in many cases, they might not be criminals, but they're people that the country didn't want. They didn't work. They needed help all the time, or they needed assistance, or whatever. Our country's got a lot of people in it right now. And we're going to make sure that everybody's treated fairly, but we got to change it. It's the most difficult problem, I think. Additionally, the heroes of ICE have been really hunting down the really bad ones, and we are going. They're incredible people. ICE, they were being shunned by Biden. They were being mocked. And let me tell you, these are tough men and women, but they're tough. They'll see like a MS-13 band of thugs out on Long Island, and they'll bring up the paddy wagons. They get in and they'll say, no, 2 of them killed 2 young girls in Long Island. For some reason, they like Long Island. MS-13 loves Long Island. I don't know what that's all about. But 2 young girls walking to school, 16 years old. In the morning, they were accosted by a group of MS-13 thugs, and they don't use guns as much. They use knives. They like using knives, and they cut them into pieces, and left them and killed them. Cut them up into pieces, little pieces, and they used knives because it's more painful. And ICE went in. They have no fear of these guys. They went in and they just knocked the hell out of them, and they'll go into a pack. They call it a pack, not like a political pack. Political packs are slightly nicer. But a pack of these MS-13 people, or Tren de Aragua people from Venezuela, and they'll just walk in. It's all you'll see is fists going for 5 minutes, and then you'll see these guys walk out, and they got them between their legs, and they're getting them the hell out of the country. These are rough people that we have to deal with. But ICE is incredible. Border Patrol is incredible. Law enforcement, the people in law enforcement, we make their job so difficult by allowing people like this into our country. We just shouldn't do it. So I've just designated the group from Venezuela, Tren de Aragua, as a foreign terrorist organization. I mean, in Colorado, they went and other places, they literally take over. They're like me. They're in the real estate business. They take over real estate, and they literally take it over. They just claim it, and they tell tenants to get the hell out if you don't get out. They had one case where a guy called the cops, and they went in. You call the cops? Yes. And they cut off his fingers. He says, you don't call them anymore. You cut off the other fingers on your other hand. These are not nice people. But federal, state, and local cooperation has to be the backbone of border security. So I hope, as governors, I know all the Republicans are very much in tune with Tom Homan and Christie and everybody, but I hope everybody, because ultimately you want to get the criminals out of your state. And we're focusing on the really bad ones. We have 11,088 people that we know of that are murderers, that are actually murderers. And I can't imagine anybody wanting them in their state, whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat or whatever you may be. I mean, we have many of them murdered more than one person. Some murdered more than 5 people, and they're in our country. They let them out of jail. These were convicted people, and they let them out of jails because it's very expensive to have somebody in jail for a lifetime or whatever it might be. And they brought them in here. The American people expect every city and state to fully honor ICE detainer requests, and we hope they can, and to ensure the safe transfer of criminal aliens into federal custody for immediate removal from our country. You know, many of the countries said, we're not ever going to let them back. Under the Biden administration, I remember it's Venezuela. He's a tough guy. And others, they said, we're not letting them back. They're out of here, and you'll never bring them back. They're not coming into this country. And Biden said, oh, we can't bring them back. They won't take them. Well, we took them. And every single country now, you saw it with Colombia, you saw it with Venezuela. In fact, they actually offered to send planes to pick them up, and they'll pick them up so that we don't have to go through the expense of sending a plane. Is that correct, Marco? Even Marco couldn't believe that one. But they literally are sending planes to pick up these people. And they're rough people, and they're picking them up, and they're putting them in the planes. There's no excuse for any state attempting to aid and abet dangerous criminals, killers, drug dealers, really bad people who are violating federal law and violating the law by being in our country. To combat inflation, I declared a national energy emergency, and we had to do that. One of the things we've done is by doing that, we can go very quickly. You know, a lot of companies are coming in, but they need tremendous electricity, amounts of electricity. Who would have thought that, right? But they need more electricity for AI than we have right now in the country. In other words, we have electricity now for the whole country. They need that just for that one industry. So they're coming in with, and we're going to be leading. We're now leading on that. We've really opened it up, and I hope it's good. But we opened it up, and we're leading China by a lot.
Winning.
But China's giving them tremendous electricity because they do whatever they want to do. But we're working with Lee. And I've told these people they're going to spend hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars, actually. So I need double the energy that we have right now, and even more than that, from what I'm understanding, which is hard to believe. In other words, take every car, everything, every building. We need, whatever it is, 100% of the energy. We need that amount just to be in the #1 position. We need really more than that to really dominate, which I think we'll be dominating. But I told them, and they can't believe it. I said, we're going to get you quick approvals, and you're going to build your own electric plants so that you're going to create your own electricity when you build your plant, which will be massive. These are massive plants. But when you build your plant, we're going to let them build an electric generating plant where they build like a utility. In other words, instead of using Con Edison, like we have in New York, hello, Governor, nice to see you back there. And we do have Con Edison, and they don't do a bad job, actually. But they could be a little cheaper with the price, perhaps, but they don't do bad. But we build our own utility. They can have their own utility. If they have any extra, they can put it onto the grid. But this way, they're not subject to a bad grid or a dangerous grid or a grid that gets taken out by bombs or war or anything else. So they actually couldn't believe it. They said, you think you could get that approved? Yeah, I'll get that approved very quickly. They couldn't believe it, and they're so happy. And they're going to do some in Virginia, some big ones. But we're going to go, and this way, it's really a self-service. They just have this massive building with a large electric generating facility that'll be powered by natural gas, mostly. Some will use coal, some will use nuclear, clean coal. I only say clean coal, but some will use nuclear. They have their right to do it. None will use wind because wind doesn't work. It's just terrible how an environmental person can like wind. It kills the birds. It's very expensive. It's 7-8 times more expensive than other forms of energy. Every wind turbine in the country that goes up needs massive subsidies. It's really the only energy that needs subsidy, essentially. The solar is doing okay. So it's the only one. But to combat inflation, I declared that national energy emergency, and we're going to unleash the liquid gold under our feet to bring the prices way down. That's going to happen. And again, we're going to have a big part of that's going to be natural gas, which is very, very clean, and clean coal. We're going to do as many forms of energy as we can. And it's going to be something I think everybody knows, and you're going to call me or anybody else if you have difficulty or problems, but you're going to have levels of business being brought to this country that you've never seen before. The tariffs are bringing them more than anything else. The country's bringing them, but the tariffs are bringing them. They hadn't been here, and we're creating tremendous tax incentives. But the biggest incentive is they don't want to pay 100% tariff or 200% or whatever it may be. And As you know, we're going to be announcing tariffs on cars from foreign countries of 25%. That'll be done in probably April 2nd. I was going to do it April 1st, but I said, I don't like that date. It's going to cost a lot of money to wait one day. You know, I don't know. What do I do there, Pam? Maybe should I do it just April 1st? It costs a lot of money, that extra day, Marco. You figure what that costs. Let's do it April 2nd, right? I just don't want to take the abuse. We created the new Department of Government Efficiency, which you may have heard about. DOGE, which is now waging war on government waste, fraud, and abuse. And we've begun the largest deregulation of industries and other things. It's proper deregulation that has ever done. I lead the way on my first 4 years. We did more deregulation than any other president in history. And I brought a little list along that I thought I'd just read some of the places when you mentioned DOGE, some of the places that this money has gone.
All the losers out there hate DOGE. They hate it. Well, they're the ones out there chanting, what do we want? Corruption. What do we want it now? What do we want? Money laundering. When do we want it now? What do we want? Waste. When do we want it now? Those people, they're called useful idiots for a reason. They're called useful idiots for a reason. Marxist mind-controlled useful idiots. Yeah, they don't get it. They never will. And that's sad. They'll spend their lives losing and being completely self-hating and toxic. It's just really sad. Don't you guys feel sorry for the losers out there? I do.
And these are the ones that I feel I could read. There's some that are so nasty and dirty and horrible that I don't want to really read them because I assume they have television on. I have guarantee they do. I let the president today because we have nothing to hide, right? It's much better. They said, do you want to let the president? I said, why not? You think Biden would do that? I don't think so. $520 million was given for a consultant to do ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa. $520 million, $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and social responsibility behavior in the country of Colombia. $25 million, $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. They have no place in particular they were thinking of. There is no location. The money was sent out, but they have no idea where it's going. $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda, and $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision. People that want to be, or have to be circumcised in Mozambique. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to consortium for elections and political process strengthening, which $22 million was for inclusive participatory political process in Moldova. And $21 million going to my friend, Prime Minister Modi in India, for voter turnout. We're giving 21 million for voter turnout in India. What about us? I want voter turnout too, Governor. $29 million to strengthen the political landscape in Bangladesh. Went to a firm that nobody ever heard of. Got 29 million. They got a check. Can you imagine? You have a little firm, you get 10,000 here, 10,000 there. And then we get 29 million from the United States government. There are two people working in that firm. Two people. I think they're very happy. They're very rich. They'll be in the cover of a very good business magazine pretty soon for being great scammers. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal and $47 million also for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia got a lot of money. $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. They gave 50 million. It worked out so well. They gave another 50 million a little bit later. Condoms, 100 million for Hamas.
Establishment.
And we're also uncovering outrageous incompetence and fraud in the Social Security. And I read this last night. So, Governor, you're going to be bored hearing this, but you know, you never get bored because it's not possible to even believe it. So if you live 100 years, it's a long time. But let's assume that they had millions and millions of people living because they have like 10 million people in the Social Security living. But let's go over 100. So now you're more than 100 years old. We have 4.7 million Social Security numbers, people from the age of 100 to 109. So if you're 100 to 109, we have 4.7 million people on our Social Security rolls, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of 100-year-olds.
I haven't, I knew one guy was 100. The great
How many 100-year-olds you guys know? I knew zero.
Builder in Manhattan. He lived to 103. You know him. He was one of the greatest builders. He was so happy. The reason he lived, he loved building. He'd build a building a year, right? Never had a problem. You knew Lenny Lidwin, I would think, Governor, right? He was a great guy and got along with everybody. He got along with Democrats, Republicans. Everybody loved Lenny. When he died, it was a bad day for New York, I'll tell you, he was a great guy, but he lived to 103, 104 because he just loved his business. He was designing a new building at 103, and that was the end of it. He didn't quite get the design finished. But you had 3.6 million people aged 110, substantially older than good old Lenny. From 110 to 119, you have 3.6. These are the people on the rolls. Now we're looking to see whether or not they've been paid, because if they've been paid, then just using those numbers to take out the money, all the money that's paid to those people. 3.47 million people from the age of 120 to 129. 3.9 million people aged 130 to 139. 3.5 million people aged 140 years old to 149 years old. I think this is the case for Pam. I think I might give you this, Pam, just you can have it. In fact, I will. 1.3 million from age 150. There's 1.3 million people they're saying are alive and receiving Social Security. Now, that's the only thing we're checking. Are they receiving it? Because if they're receiving it, that makes it much worse. If they're not receiving it, that just makes it incompetent. They shouldn't be on the rolls. And the only thing good about this is that when we take all these people off the rolls, and we have tremendous fraud underneath, people that are 80 and 60 and 50 and everything else, but this is really incredible. 1.3 million from 150 to 159, and over 130,000.
150 to 1. What do you say?
Fraud underneath, people that are 80 and 60 and 50 and everything else, but this is really incredible. 1.3 million from 150 to 159, and over
150 to 159, 1.3 million. Where's the money? Thank God we have a competent president again. Thank God we have someone with a brain, who's intelligent, that is looking out for us. Sir Frank Otter, what's up? Good to see you. 150 to 159. Talk about a money laundering, vote scamming system that only corrupt, elitist, corrupt establishment people could possibly come up with. And this is how long has this been going on? How long has this been going on? Right? Oh, there's a lot of stupid people out there that would support something like that to continue. I mean, really.
over 130,000
Thank God it's over. Thank God we are winning.
people are on the rolls of Social Security over the age of 160 years old, including 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. So
220 and 229. Oh my goodness gracious! I could only imagine that must look like a skeleton in a t-shirt by the time you get to that age. I mean, humans just aren't made to live that long. But as long as somebody can defraud the government, useful idiots will cheer and say it's awesome. They'll think it's the greatest thing ever. Yeah,
we have
exactly.
Think of that. We have 1,039 people who are 220 years old to 229. We have one person at 240 years old. And here's the beauty of them all. We have one person at 360, which is strange because the country is 250.
I know. We have one person who is older than the country itself. Man, that person ought to be on every single talk show. I want to get that person on and interview him. I'll ask him every question in the world, man. Whoa, wouldn't you love to talk to a 300-year-old? Let's go.
So and they're 110 years older than the country. Here, Pam, you better take a look at this. That's much better for you than for me. Now the question is, are they getting paid? Because somebody maybe is getting paid. Yeah, I have a feeling you were. I said, what a convenient thing. This is so nice. We created this department, Doge, and the kind of numbers are incredible. It could be $500 billion, but it could be $1 trillion. It could be even $1.5 trillion. We're going to find out. I mean, I'm actually going with Elon, and Elon's doing a really good job. And I said, who are these people that travel? We call them the Dogers. And I said, what are they? He said, they're generally young people with extremely high IQs who are very good with computers, because you have to be good with computers. So when one of these scammers talks and tries to tell them why it's perfect, they said, no, it doesn't work that way. It's very hard to talk them out of something when they have you.
Probably.
But we're actually going to Fort Knox because I want to see, do we have the gold? Do we still have whatever it is, tons of gold? I hope we do. Wouldn't that be disappointing? Fort Knox. You grow up hearing about Fort Knox. You can't get in. You can't even see it. Nobody sees it. You go there and the place is dry. Would that be terrible? There's another one. Maybe you should go with us to that one. But we're going to go in there pretty soon. They can open the doors to Fort Knox. If any governor would like to go with us, well, good. You want to go with us on that one, Ron? That could be good. Could be interesting. Can you imagine if we open it up and there's no gold? Well, I think there will be. For one reason, it's really heavy. You steal borrowed gold, you got to be strong. So it's not like other things. But we're looking at everything. We have the largest deregulation campaign in history. And we are, again, I did more than anybody, but this blows it away. And for one, every time we put in a new regulation, we're not allowed to put it in unless we terminate 10 old regulations. So it's 1 in 10. We did 1 in 7 in my last administration. And the problem is some of them were put back, foolishly put back. There was no reason for them. So if you truly want a turbocharged economy, you have to do that, and you have to get rid of the regulations. I think one of the reasons before COVID, and we did a great job with COVID and it was a hell of a thing for all of us, everybody here. But some countries will actually never recover for what they went through. But we ended up giving back when we turned over the reins. The stock market was higher than just previous to COVID coming in, which was an amazing achievement. But we were just prior to that. I would never forget. I was sitting down with two consultants, the two great pollsters. They said, "Sir, this economy is so good. We're the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were doubling up China. I was also charging China hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, which no president charged them anything, but they were killing us. But we were beating everybody. Everybody said that in 2018, China was going to overtake us as the biggest economy in the world. And by the time I got finished, we were so much bigger than China, and we still are now. But another 4 years like we had just passed, you will have China being much bigger than you. There's no reason. If we have a smart president, there's no way that they should ever be able to catch us. But this pollster said to me, "Sir, if Abraham Lincoln and George Washington came back from the dead and they ran as president and vice president, they'd never be able to beat you." I said, "Thank you very much." The next day I go into my office and a group of scientists are sitting there. "Sir, would like to tell you there's something very bad happening in China. There's dead bodies all over the place." And that's the first time I heard the word pandemic in a long time. And that's where it started. And you know where they were? All around the Wuhan lab. That's why from day one, I was saying they had little slits like this. You saw them from the air, from space. And they were just little slits, but they were body bags. They were black body bags all over, so many. And that's where it came from. One other thing, I just before we leave, I think you should do this. For my safety and security and for the good of our nation, you should do it anyway, regardless, even if it costs 10 times more. But it actually costs you just a tiny fraction. If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, and I would hope that every Republican would. So it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. These machines, they got something going. They get business. It's amazing. So paper ballots, and paper is very sophisticated today. Paper, it's called watermark. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually hard to believe that a piece of paper is highly sophisticated, but it's watermark, and it's it's amazing actually when you see it. You can't cheat. But if you went to paper ballots and same day voting, and if you went to voter ID, and also one other thing, you want a proof of citizenship, those 4 things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, 1 day voting. And if you went to 2 day voting or 3 day voting, but some of these states, you had 64 days. You know, California just finished up just a short while ago. They were voting a week and a half ago. They're trying to finish them up. And other states too. They were weeks after the election. I mean, if that were a close election, you'd have to wait for weeks and weeks and weeks. You got finished fast, Brian. Thank you for your help. We did very well in Georgia. It was very nice. But some of these states, if you had a close election, you wouldn't know who won. And then, once that happens, then you really never know who won. But you would save tens of millions of dollars, forgetting about right, wrong, and security, safety, our country, our Constitution, and all of these. Number one, you'd have a much safer election. Number two, everybody, the results of your election by 10 o'clock. Everybody, it's a beautiful system. It's boxes of 5,000. Boom, boom. And you can go and examine each box. It's so simple and so good. I did ask Elon, because he knows more about computers than anybody I know. I said, what do you think of the voting system? He said, computers are not meant for voting. It's just not it's too many transactions taking place too quickly. It's just not. He said, honestly, and I've gone to the best people, the smartest computer minds from MIT, from others. My uncle was a professor for 41 years at MIT and a brilliant guy. And I got to know a lot of the people up there. And they will tell you that the most secure way that you can secure the election, and probably the fastest way, because there can be very little hanky-panky, is paper ballots. Can you believe it? So I hope, Sarah, that certainly the Republican governors, but if you want to save a lot of money, you go to paper ballots. It'll cost you 8% of what the costs are now. And that's based on a good deal for machines. And then when you go through the days and weeks and months of waiting, France had mail-in ballots. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have fraud, without question. And France had it, and they went back to paper ballots. and I saw their election, and their election was over at 9 o'clock, and their numbers came in at 10:05, and there were no complaints. They had a winner, they had a loser, 39 million votes, and it was done. We're one of the only people that has now mail-in voting, one of the only countries that has mail-in voting. Remember Jimmy Carter when he did a commission, and I think they had Scoop Jackson, there's some, at the time, big senators, and their conclusion was, if you have mail-in voting, you're going to have massive fraud. And we had it in New York with the congressional race. Remember the congressional race? It took them forever to like 6 months later, they declared, who was it, Jerry Nadler or somebody? They declared him the winner, 6 months later. But it was somebody. Oh, no, it was the woman, the congressman. I won't mention her name. But she won, but she didn't win. And it was really very sad to see that whole thing. Democrat, that was a Democrat, and a Democrat, that was a primary. But they had the mail-in voting. It's just a disaster. So it's very, very expensive. If you want to save money, if you really believe that the computers work, which they don't, but if you want to save a lot of money, all you have to do is go to paper ballots, and you'll be cutting it down by millions.
If you don't want to get
of dollars.
investigated.
So America will take off like a rocket ship. You're going to see things. It's so great for the governors. And Democrat governors are going to have, you're going to get the benefit of this. You're going to be opening up plants, and you're going to be, I hope we have enough people. We're going to and we want people to come into our country, by the way, I do, but they have to come in legally. So we need people in the country, but they have to come in legally. 2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue, because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, they put up an eighth of an ounce here, an eighth of an ounce there, and it's 218 pounds or whatever was that. And hadn't been broken in 19 years. And then guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That would be a record not going to be broken again.
Oh, yeah.
Longer. So we put a ban on it.
It was a live replay.
To protect women.
Earlier, this is awesome.
The women, if you watch the Olympics, you had two transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category. And if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no more. I've never been hit. It was a left. It was not even it was just a left jab. She got hit so hard, she said, I can't do it. They forced her to go out. No, go out again. You'll do it. Goes out again, gets hit again. No, that's it. She didn't want to die. And it's crazy, but the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine? Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively. And we're going to be protecting our citizens. We're going to protect. So just to end, this administration has been fighting for parents' rights and universal school choice. We want to do something that I think many people in this room want, and even if you don't, I think you do want it, but you might not be able to say it. We want to move the schools back to the states, so that Iowa and South Carolina and Georgia and all these states can run your own school system. And you'll do a fantastic job, Kim. You're going to do great. I mean, I use your example because you're so much into the education, done a great job with school choice, and you'll do it with your school choice. That'll be the easy thing. But we want to get it back, take it away. So just some stats. So at last, it's usually we're 38, 39, or 40 out of 40. They take the 40, I guess, biggest, most important, whatever it might be, but 40 countries. And we were 38, 39, and congratulations. But 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we hit number 40. So we were last in terms of education in the world. And we were first in another category, though. We were first in cost per pupil. So we spend much more. And by the way, second wasn't even close. So you have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, China. So there goes the big country theory right there for 1.4. They're rated number 5. That's a little bit scary, isn't it? But they're all
take their grades, though. Was that it? Oh, yeah, that was it. All right. There you go. That's where they cut it off. So that's where we'll cut it off to. How about that? Okay. Guys, what a great night. I loved all the press conferences, all the updates, all the winning that we keep doing. It's just amazing. It is, and we're going to keep on doing it. And man, there's so many salty establishment useful idiots, people mind controlled by cultural Marxism from the ground up. They are just hurting. They got a bunch of trans trollios trying to make waves. They're never going to win. They're always going to lose, and this is going to be some good times. We're going to keep it going through this entire administration, and then we're going to get another administration after that. We're going to do it again. We're going to have a decade of just awesomeness, and things are going to be so great for everybody, man. Look up, be happy, and know that every time we win, they lose, and they just can't handle it. It's amazing. And again, if you're here and you're watching, remember the winner's button is the thumbs up. The loser's button is a thumbs down. Either way, you help out the stream. So go ahead and pick one. Decide what side you want to be on, and that's all good. All right, now I'm singing the good times theme. Yep, everybody have a good old time. Everybody have a good time. Good times. Easy credit ripoffs. That's what we're getting rid of that. Good times. Yep. Get rid of those easy credit ripoffs. Easy corrupt establishment ripoffs. They're going away. They're going bye-bye. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. We had a great Friday night. Winning tonight, Friday edition rocks the house, man. So many great people here tonight. Lots of folks coming in, stopping by, saying hi. Make sure that you have hit the base button, hit the winner's thumb, right? Whether you're on Rumble, X, or YouTube, it all matters. And it shows that you are on the right side of history. Yeah, hit that winner's thumb. Hit it. We are going to be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for winning Saturday night. Unless something happens. Unless I'm forgetting about something. I'm pretty sure there's a winning Saturday night tomorrow night. And like I said, we're going to go over that very based report from Greg Foreman, aka Black Conservative Perspective, as the truth about the George Floyd, which we all knew here, but the truth about the George Floyd incident, it comes out. What ramifications will it have? Well, it should, his face should be erased everywhere. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. I'll have more for you. We'll have some good news. We'll look at some cool things, and we'll watch some funny videos, and we'll do all that and more. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Get something to eat. I'm hungry. All right. I hope you guys get something to eat too. Thank you guys for all the love and support. And most of all, thank you guys for being winners. All right, guys. Until next time, everybody out there, each and every one of you, stay based and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
This